He puts it in! 0 seconds remaining! He seems to be fighting hard for it. Oh my goodness! Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato! Scott! Oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through! He's gonna get the shot! He's gonna put it in! Back to back! On the backward, can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net!
High off the backboard here. Opportunity! Here comes the shot!
Hold on. Surely this can. Oh my lord!
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, open thing on the goal line. He did not
Nearly over!
sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible. The 4-time champions.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. And I'm joined in the booth by Mallow. Mallow, how you doing, man?
Oh, Flip, man, I'm doing great. We got a fantastic lineup tonight. We're gonna have banger after banger after banger. But before we even get to that, we got to talk about the exciting matchups we had last week with the Player of the Weeks. And there were some really, really good contenders here. Um, what was your thoughts on last week?
Last week, I thought it was pretty bad. I lost to Crip. Can't believe that ever happened in my Nemesis career. So last week sucked. But some other players they had some pretty good weeks. So if we want to get started, I guess we can start with Novice because I mean, there is a standout player here in Novice League, Mallow. And Mallow, this is your league, so I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, and obviously we had Silver J. Silver J with the fusion. There were a couple of good contenders here. But Silver J, he was up there. He was at the top of Novice League with his stats going undefeated, 6-0 the entire time. Average score of 622 points, 4 shots a game, 2 goals a game, 56 shooting percentage, and an assist a game and 2 saves a game. So incredible numbers across the board for Silver J. Definitely earned it there, especially when you compare to others like C Money, who is definitely a big shout out there. He'd had a great week. Exile Tyler and Walkman John both on the Crows, but Silver J clear winner there. Congratulations to Silver J last week.
Yep. Yeah, obviously, great performance there. Next, we're gonna go up to the Chally League, and man, Chally was
Prospect.
nah, that we don't gotta worry about Prospect Mallow. Nobody cares about who
You
Prospect
know
play of
what?
the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, let's just do Chally real quick, just a little bit. So the Chally player of the week, there was a lot of good contenders here as well, but it's gonna be Zaire for Samurai, who the Samurai team has really been up and coming. So shout out to Zaire, putting up honestly really solid stats all around the board. 475 score per game, and he played 9 games, so had to play a lot of games as well to get that. But most impressive thing for me was the 1.44 goals per game. So putting up a lot of shots, putting up a lot of goals, and that's what really secured the player of the week for him.
Yeah, but we're definitely not going to skip on prospect. And anyone that is going to see this player of the week, they're going to see that, which I'm sure it's already showing on the screen here. Maybe not, but looking at the stats here, no surprise, it is Rockerman with the origin, the man himself, the director of Nemesis League here. 75% winning percentage in across 8 games, 477 points average, three over 3 shots a game, over a goal a game, a little bit on the soft side with assist, a half an assist, but hey, when you're scoring and shooting that much, you can put in that pressure and skip the assist part. But saves, 1.5 saves per game, putting on the demos too. Origin, they've been looking mighty strong, so definitely understandable why he is the one to get the player of the week. Some shout outs to Juice over on the Hawks. Uh, Warhawks, I believe. They're showing up weird for me on my screen here. Yeah, I believe it's the Blackhawks, not the Warhawks. My bad. But that's another thing for another day. But anyway, Kaz with the Minotaurs, another shout out there, and then Ahmed doing a fantastic job on the pitch as well. But Rockerman got the prospect. Now we're on to rival.
Yeah, and the rival league had a lot of great contenders here, um, such as Juicy Leaf, Covey on the Chimeras. Gosh, who else was that? Coliber played really well, but honestly, it was kind of between Thigh Chat and Doctor Brown. Both like these guys were neck and neck. Both average 450 score per game. Actually, Thigh Chat averaged 466, just a little bit more. Thigh Chat had a little bit more goals with 1.25 goals per game, but Dr. Brown had over a goal per game, over an assist per game, over a save per game, while averaging 450 score per game. So, and he also had almost 2 demos a game. So, just the stats all around, Dr. Brown really popped off. So, really good performance here from Dr. Brown. And this is a player that we're about to see, Mallow.
Yeah. And you may think, well, what about Juicy on that list there? But Juicy, just barely out edged there by Dr. Brown, in the rival league on the Hydra team. They were both teammates, but
Mhm.
Dr. Brown just
That's
had it
raw.
just a little bit better. But going on to the Titan League here, and Titan League has been so close the entire season, but right now, next, or I should say last week, sorry. looking at the player of the week here, it went to Tashega. Tashega played, he did play the most games, but with those games, he had a consistent score of 441 points. He had 3 shots. He had over a goal a game. His shooting percentage was 52%. And having at least an assist or two every game, every other game, I should say, about a half assist a game, and then having about a save and a half per game was definitely up there. And he was in the destructive zone too, demoing some people as well. So Tashega getting that Player of the Week for the Titan League. Great job by all of these guys last week. Tough matchups for sure. We're getting into the last week of the season here. Flip, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. It's tough. We got a bunch of matchups tonight, including this first one with Hydra and Lightspeed, where even though Lightspeed is already in the playoffs, Hydra is fighting, and there's a whole bunch of others fighting as well.
Yeah, it's actually Hydra that's in playoffs. Lightspeed are the ones fighting for it.
Uh, yeah, I said it backwards.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, this Lightspeed team has been kind of on a resurgence here since they picked up gosh, I'm blanking on the name. Landon. Wow, yeah, that's the one.
Landon and Xeroxa, according
Uh
to my sources that I've
mm,
heard, that are definitely not in my head.
yep.
But that's what I've heard. But we'll call him Zero.
Yeah, Zero also Zero and Landon both have been bouncing around teams all season. So I'm pretty sure this is the third team for both of them this season. So glad to see that they found a place where they're still contending for a playoff spot or a play-in spot at least, and trying to make postseason. I want to see it. I want to see it happen. They went 2-0 last week. They won again in Game 5 against Bearcats, and they won in 4 games against Knights. So now they're playing against one of the favorites to win the rival league here in in Hydra. And to be honest, Mallow, this Hydra team, they have been the same consistent, solid team all throughout the season. They drop a couple games here and there to games they're just kind of brain fart games. Like, oh, how'd you lose to mafiosos, or how did this team lose to Lightspeed, or how whatever it is. This Hydra team, they figured out something. It works like 99% of the time. They have their off games. It happens to everybody, but I mean, they're sitting at a 12-4 record for a reason. They are the 4 seed. Let me make sure that's correct. They
They're currently at
are
number 3 right
Okay,
now.
okay, yeah, they're the 3rd seed. I'm the 4th seed. Yeah, sorry, I suck. Yeah, they're the 3 seed. So obviously they're already locked into playoffs. They're kind of just playing spoiler here for Lightspeed, and Lightspeed's the 11 seed, looking to get in. So I want to see this Lightspeed team really step up. And we talked about Zero, we talked about Landon, but the main player on that team is Deco, and I think we're gonna see that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Deco being the top player on the pitch here tonight among these teams, if I'm not mistaken. It could be Dr. Brown, actually, as I say that. But Deco, one of the top players on this pitch tonight, definitely been a staple. Been across, if I'm not mistaken, looking at this across the leaderboard as far as all of the stats, he is up there in just about every one of them. Um,
Close, yeah.
yeah, being a top 3 seed team here, they're actually within striking distance of the number 1 seed, so they still have a lot to play for. And I know if I were the Hydra team, I would still be going for that number 1 seed. And if I'm not, and if I'm Lightspeed here, I'm definitely trying to play spoiler on that, as well as getting into the playoffs here, or at least the play-ins, I should say. Uh, because it's definitely possible with this team. Landon, Zero, and Deco all been doing a great job ever since they formed as a team.
Yeah, and so now okay. My bad. We're changing lobbies real quick to make sure everybody gets, their desired ping. Well, we want to see the best performances here, Malo, because we've only got 2 game days left till playoffs, which is kind of crazy to think about. This season's kind of flown by, in my opinion. Last season drug on forever. Maybe it's because my team was really bad. Anyway, that this season, I feel like in rival league specifically, Malo, there's been about 5 teams that have really, there was 4 teams really that were the staples, and those are top 4 seeds. But now we're starting to see a lot of these teams that got built right at the trade deadline, like this Lightspeed team, the Chimeras team that we're going to see later tonight is also a really good team that got built. I want to give a shout out to the Blaze team that we're going to see later tonight that recently got built. A lot of these rival teams that were lower down in the rating or in the rankings really starting to pick up some momentum here, and so a big win for Lightspeed tonight, which I definitely think could be pulled off. By the way, because in my opinion, Mallow, I'm going to say this going player for player, I would take Lightspeed over Hydra. Hydra just play together so well, and they're a team that's been together since the beginning. So I think they had the edge chemistry wise, but I think player for player, talent for talent, I would take this Lightspeed team. So if they're able to make those individual plays and make, honestly, just a bunch of solo plays, because I feel like all three of these players are capable of it. That's where, that's where I think this team can really make a difference. Now on the other side, I was kind of glazing Lightspeed there. On the other side, I gotta glaze one man in particular, and his name's Dr. Brown. He won Player of the Week. Heck, he might go for two in a row. That's his goal because this man can be the best player in the league. Whenever he's on, so I'm really excited to see how this goes. I will also say they don't have Saucy. Saucy has been a huge demo threat. This Hydra team, as we're gonna get kickoff started here in game number one, Mallow. This Hydra team loves to demo. They love to make counterattack chances with those demos. But this Lightspeed team, they see no Saucy on the pitch. They got to worry about the demos a little bit less. So we're going to see if that really plays a factor here. But Mallow, I talked a lot, but I'm going to give my prediction here real quick. I'm going to take Lightspeed in 4. I think Lightspeed are going to show up and show out this game. What you got?
You're the number one player rating in Rival, so I am definitely going to listen to your opinion there for sure. But we do have some good players on both sides of this pitch here, but you can't ignore the momentum Lightspeed is experiencing right now since they have rebuilt their team here. And I kind of agree. I think Lightspeed is going to get it, but I think it's going to go to game 5 because it's going to go back and forth for a little bit, potentially, at least anyway, in my opinion. But we'll see after this game 1 because who knows? We may see a little sloppiness here in game 1, and then after that, it's going to pick up.
Yeah, game 1, always the game that you can't put too much weight in. People are a little nervous on stream. Maybe they're just getting warmed up, to be honest. I will say this Lightspeed team, Deco, he pings a lot for scrims. So, I never answer those because, gosh, my team never scrims. But these guys, they are on the grind set, and so gotta respect them. As now they're gonna look for the shot, but a great save there and clear by 0. And Dr. Brown sitting all the way back. This is what Dr. Brown likes to do. It's either him sitting all the way back, waiting for an air dribble opportunity across the pitch, or it's him, insta-challing, and there's Caliber and Oshi right behind him. Like, you will see a lot of, just single man just kind of jumping in, and there's 2 players behind him still. Dr. Brown and Oshi, though, they both go there. Caliber is going to get that clear back across, try to get that one towards the midfield. Dr. Brown gets a demo on Deco, but Landon, he's going to get a clear. Oshi does spawn in the back right corner, clears over to Caliber. Caliber straight down. Oshi's going to be there. Caliber with the redirect, not going to happen in Landon. Now he's hunting for a demo. Is he going to get it? No!
Oh.
A great dodge and a great save. What a play there by Dr. Brown.
Oh my goodness, yeah. We saw one of the reasons why Dr. Brown is player of the week. The mental gymnastics he just had to play there against that offensive pressure by Lightspeed, and was very much able to avoid it. But Deco getting demoed there, and this rival team, they're putting on a little bit of pressure right now, but it's kind of neck and neck when it comes to the shot count.
Yeah, I will say the Hydra team, it just feels like, they're kind of surviving. They're not allowing a lot of shots, though. So both these teams, only 2 shots on the board. Can we see a little bit more offensive pressure that's actually threatening? Because I'm seeing opportunities, and then they just get cleared away just like that. Now there's 1 man back, but it's Dr. Brown, and he's going to win that 50 9 times out of 10, as now 0 gets a 50 on Caliber, but a demo on the back end could leave an open net here. Deco racing for it. Oshi with a really good spawn, but it doesn't matter. That one's in the back of your net. Great shot there from Deco.
Oh man, Oshi took the angle that I think I would have taken too, but in reality, I think I probably would have maybe played a little more defensive in that, because you don't have as much boost, especially after getting demoed like that, and you don't have as much momentum, so you maybe, I don't know, and maybe I'm wrong here because I'm novice. I'm not up there like you as the number 1 player, and oh my, what a save by Dr. Brown, like you and Rival here, Flip. But I felt like he may have been a little too aggressive on that challenge, and he probably could have played a little more on the wall, or at least a little more defensive.
Yeah, if he just turns straight back to net, I promise that's not a goal like ever. But you know, we all make bad decisions sometimes. Can't say I wouldn't have gone for that ball either. You know, in the moment, it looks a lot better. Hindsight's 2020 here, Mallow. But you know,
Hmm.
we learn from our mistakes, and let's see if Hydra can do the same thing. However, it's once again Lightspeed on the attack. Landon now trying to get a good 15. He does. Colliver gonna hit that one to the sidewall, trying to get a clear. Does have the double. That one's sent way long as Deco gets a touch to the corner. Dr. Brown had that one. Read that one goes back across. Colliver's there. That's a dynamic duo that you would not expect. Colliver, one of the lowest salaried players in the entire rival league, is actually one of the best. I'm not even kidding. This man, I mean, not even just for his salary, just in general, he's always been so consistent. But Oshi with the bad challenge there, but Colliver there to save that shot as Oshi with one touch, trying to get a 50 on another, and he does. Landon waiting back, gonna have a clear, but that clear only goes as far as Dr. Brown. 0, no touch. Dr. Brown shot not on target. Colliver gonna look to turn, but Landon already challenging, already all the way diving. But now it's Oshi in the air. Little boost to work with, gets a reset. Gets it over Deco. The double touch! That is nasty!
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, he just made up for his mistake earlier with this goal here. What a great goal and great control there by Oshi. And we're tied up with 38 seconds left. Lightspeed, are they going to answer quickly here? Or could we potentially go into overtime?
I mean, I don't know, Mallow. Both these teams, they both have really good opportunities. Lightspeed, they have a couple more opportunities under their belts, but whenever Hydra strikes, it's always lethal. And so now we're going to see if that clinical play can continue, as it's going to be Lightspeed being able to get that cleared. But Colliver all the way back. Not a lot of boost, though. Deco gets it around him. There's 2 players on the back wall. That can be dangerous. Oshi, he drops. Landon, that's a touch. That's a pop. Deco going to look for the mid pass, but 0. A little backwards. Can't get to that one. That ball cleared long, and looks like we are going to have overtime here in game number 1, Mallow.
Oh, uh, I think that was Landon. Oh wait,
no.
it's already in. Oh my goodness, kickoff goal. That was anticlimactic after that after that first game there. But you know that does happen quite a bit, especially after OTs like that. But that was such a good first game from both teams here. But Lightspeed getting the edge here in game 1, starting off on a good foot.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not saying it has a huge impact, but like losing like that, sometimes it's like, it's kind of just a brush. Like you like brush it off. You're like, okay, we lost game 1. It was a kickoff goal in OT. What are you gonna do about it? You know. So I think that's a better way to lose than going to like a 4-minute overtime and losing. So at least Hydra got it out of the way. I think they were starting to figure it out a little bit there, Mallow. They seemed to really start kicking up offensively at least. Obviously it was a solo play that Oshi was able to score, but Lightspeed, it just felt like their attacks weren't nearly as threatening towards the later half of that game. So I do think, you know, Hydra either had him figured out a little bit, or if Lightspeed were just slowing down. I'm not really quite sure. But in the end, it doesn't matter. There's a 1 on the side of Lightspeed. There's 0 on the side of Hydra. Going into game number 2, Mallow, Lightspeed looked to continue their momentum with Landon trying to get another, another kickoff goal. As 0 also trying to put that one on. And Mallow, once again, I feel like we were also in this Hydra half quite a bit. And Lightspeed just liked to ramp up that pressure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Lightspeed, they had the shots on the goal there. They put the quantity out there. But Hydra, they were quality over quantity there, and we're already seeing a continuation of game 1 from Lightspeed. But you know, as I say that, the Hydra team here on the offensive pitch, or on the offensive side of the ball, I should say, and we might actually see a goal here pretty soon from Hydra if this continues.
Yeah, the pressure's there, but the shot total for Hydra is still at 0 because a lot of their opportunities, once again, it just results in just not a shot. But that one could have been beautiful. But that one, it hits the post. I thought a follow could have come through, but he does get saved away. Now the counterattack, which is what Hydra, in my opinion, are really good at, is getting these like, solo play counters or passing play counters. Either way, they're really good at the counterattacks. As Oshi gonna get a save there, gonna try to start another counterattack. Landon gonna immediately dive and hit him off the ball. As now 0 gonna look for the double, and he gets it. That one not over Colliver though. So a great touch there as Colliver looks to put it off the backboard. Landon waiting. A great dunk though from Colliver once again, but Deco is going to have the clear on that one. Dr. Brown waiting back, and Dr. Brown gets immediately challenged once again. No time on the ball for him. Zero with a
Oh,
great
what a
shot.
touch.
Man, Zero put it right behind the goalie, and that's enough to get the first goal for Lightspeed.
Yeah, that 50 there by Deco, even with no boost, was absolutely huge. And Zero able to put it basically on top of Oshi's, uh, not even hood. It's the top of the car, the roof of the car, and it just couldn't do anything. It just came so fast there, and we got Lightspeed continuing where they left off, scoring first here in game 2 with about 3 minutes 10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and a great demo there from Landon can really start to open up some pressure. Oshi does spawn on the better side once again. I feel like he's getting some pretty good spawns. I don't know. Psyonix never gives me those kinds of spawns. That's all I'm saying. But Dr. Brown looking for the clear. That one's getting another great insta-chow by Deco.
Oh.
Deco's also going to receive a pass from Zero. That one could have been lethal, but not going to find the back of the net. Landon going for the bump on Oshi, but Oshi had already fully committed to that ball as Deco with one touch, trying to look for another, but he's not going to have it as Dr. Brown's going to take control. Dr. Brown can be so dangerous, but Zero not letting him get the flick off, immediately challenging. Deco with a backwards touch, he's going to go up the wall and get the clear. He gets a little control as well, not going to have the follow-up, but Oshi helps him out just a little bit. Dr. Brown's touch pops high, but Zero's already there. Zero off the ceiling. That one's going to just be a shot and going to get cleared away. Dr. Brown now with one touch, trying to get a follow-up and not able to really kickstart any offense here. That's a good touch on the Colliver, but Landon already up in the air, already sending it over Oshi's head. Zero, he's pre-jumping that one, and he hits it. That one's off the corner, and it's in! Great snipe there from Deco. Is Zero with the pre-jump. I don't know how this goes in, though.
I don't either. I thought that was going to roll up from that angle, but you know that's the thing. The angle, the angle is one thing. What it actually does is another. And this Lightspeed team, they're on a roll. 2-0 here with 2 minutes remaining, and they're doing exactly what they thought they were going to do here in game 2 after game 1.
Yeah, and it feels like, again, a lot of the pressure just it starts to mount, and one defensive mistake is all it really takes. And I'm going to say, Saucy not being here does matter, in my opinion, Mallow, because this man would be demoing like nobody's business right now. He would average 4 demos a game against this team. Instead, the Lightspeed team might start averaging 4 goals a game as Landon puts one away here. And it's just a long clear. Dr. Brown doesn't get the touch, and Landon, he just full sends it. Why not? Thank you for the pass, buddy, and that's a goal.
Yeah, what a goal there. And Lightspeed with all the offensive pressure here, 8 shots, and Hydra with not a single one here. They've been basically playing defense. Been seeing a lot of double commits, and you talked about Saucy not being here. That's the thing. Chemistry is big, and if you got as we see a 4th goal here by Zero getting a second of the game, that chemistry is everything, and it almost. This may look like I haven't actually seen the Hydra play other than this, so I don't know. But it just seems like they're a lot slower than I would expect the rival team to be.
I will say, Mallow, whenever I played against them, we didn't have our full team. We lost in 5. But whenever I scrimmed against them, it was literally 11 saves. Like, they averaged like 9 saves a game. I'm not even kidding. It's so much defense, it's so much counterattack for this team, and so they really rely on just the counterattacks. And so if you're playing solid defense and consistent offense where you're actually putting the ball in the back of the net, they are a very beatable team. Colliver not going to find the connection on the counterattack there, and that's one where you really want, if you're Hydra, like that's the kind of goal that you're looking for. Colliver once again with an early challenge. Zero trying to get a fake pass. Dr. Brown kind of floated in, but still great 50s and a great shot. Zero, don't do it to him.
With the hat trick too, that was just a fantastic solo play there by Zero. Just past everyone, and I think we might be both wrong on the score here, Flip, if things continue. I don't think it's going to be 3-1 or 3-2, but we'll see what happens.
Mallow, I hate to say this. You win by 5, you're going to lose by 1 the next game. I don't know how Lightspeed, it's just how it's just meant to be. I don't know what to tell you. But we will have to wait and see, as it is 5-0 in favor of Lightspeed. It's It's all over. I'll call it now. This is definitely a 2-0 lead here for Lightspeed. Dr. Brown able to get a nice air dribble over one, but no follow-up once again, and it seems like the second man is just not there for this Hydra team ever on offense, and so that's what I feel like that's what it's really lacking. And it might be number 6 here, but great clear there by Colliver. Dr. Brown now downfield, trying to make something happen. Gets a flick over one, really high though, so Landon's able to get the ball cleared. Dr. Brown going to leave that for Oshi, who popped that one high for Colliver. Colliver off the backboard. That one's going to be bouncing down. Dr. Brown doesn't have the read. We're going to game 3 with a potential sweep on the board here, Mallow.
Yeah, there's definitely a potential sweep here because Hydra, they need to change something. Obviously, this game, if they want to win at least one. But Lightspeed looking extremely comfortable on the pitch here tonight. 11 shots to, I don't even know if Dr. Brown got a shot on net there. I didn't see it. But 11 shots to, I think, 0 here. And man, it's I think Dr. Brown may have actually thought it was over. But 0 shots, yeah, from Hydra. And man, Hydra, they need to change something, in my opinion. Flip, I think they need to become more aggressive. They need to do more demos because we are not seeing that on their side. And you talked about it. Their second man needs to be a little further up.
Yeah, it just seems like they're playing so safe and so scared, but you're down 5 goals. What's one more at that point? Might as well sit in the whole house. But now it's 0-0, Mallow. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. And maybe it can be a different scoreline. Colliver going to try to get us started off early. Not going to get the touch there because he had no boost. But Oshi, he tried to put the shot away. It's going to be Dr.
Oh.
Brown, though. There's the finish. And there's the first goal in I don't even know how long.
Yeah, but this is a great way for Hydra to start game 3. Great bump there by, I believe it was Oshi to Landon. And really, that's exactly what we wanted to see there. Bumps and aggression by that second man. And we saw it there. Game 3 here, Hydra really starting to turn it up. And hopefully they keep this up, get past this Lightspeed, and maybe continue this rotation and throw the Lightspeed team off.
Yeah, but we'll have to wait and see, because honestly, it's been a while since Lightspeed had to, I don't know if they're shell-shocked that they got scored on, but, maybe Lightspeed just gotta play their game. They were playing really well. Switch-ups from Hydra. Honestly, it might not even affect this Lightspeed team, because they are still looking as aggressive as ever. Dr. Brown with a touch, but it's not a great one as Landon. Gonna try to get there, but Dr. Brown with a great recovery. Colliver downfield with a touch to the corner. 0. He's gonna try to leave that one. No, he's gonna take it himself. Doesn't get the greatest touch as Oshi's able to 50 him. That ball high, though, and you know what? That's just where Deco likes it. Deco getting an air dribble over Dr. Brown, but Oshi's there to collect. Now a challenge from 0 is going to give that ball free for Landon. Landon gets the beat on Colliver, and so Dr. Brown, last man back, has to clear it to the side, and 0 already up and waiting. 0 off the corner. That ball going to get cleared long by Dr. Brown once again. Landon, he's going to have the touch to the corner. Deco going to try to get a read, and he's able to get the beat onto Colliver as well. Deco doesn't have any boost, though, so that touch is going to go as far as Mr. Brown, Doctor, I should say, as he's looking for the air dribble. Not going to get the follow-up on the double touch. Almost had it, but he got just barely bumped. Oshi with the demo, trying to clear some space, but still cleared to his corner. He does have 100 boost, does get the dunk on Landon, and that ball's going long. 0, can he race back and get there? He can. 0 now with little time, trying to play a 50 with Dr. Brown. Insta-chow, not giving him any time. Dr. Brown, the demo man. Oh my goodness, Demolition Derby coming on through. Get out of the way, and Colliver puts that one away.
I have a feeling Dr. Brown or someone on that team was told, they heard us on stream. They had to have, because all of a sudden they have turned the aggression, turned the bumps and demos on, because we have seen nothing like this from the Hydra team this entire series. And here they are, everything on the line for them, just about pretty much. I think they're still pretty in it. But, talking about playoffs here, there's a lot of teams in it. So if you're Hydra, you don't want to chance this Lightspeed team coming into the playoffs the way they're playing right now.
This Lightspeed team really is on a resurgence. So that's what we're seeing here in this series. But, Mallow, I hate to say it, the scriptwriters are so predictable that I promise you, Lightspeed's going to score a goal. I lied. Hydra's gonna score a goal. Colliver's gonna put that one away. Wow, a great fair enough. Dr. Brown made another good play. I don't know what to tell you. It was a great 50. It was a bad double commit, though. Deco 0 boost. He decides to challenge that ball. Could have been free for Landon, though. Instead, it's a 3-0 Hydra lead, and I'm eating my words.
Yeah, we saw a couple of double commits from Hydra too earlier on in games 1 and 2, and we're seeing again uh, from Lightspeed this time, and it's definitely hurting them because in Rival League you can't make those type of mistakes because you will pay for it, and it has shown so far in this series.
Yeah, mistakes, they're part of the game. It's just how can the other team capitalize on them. And I think Hydra's finally kind of, waking up a little bit. They're realizing, some defensive challenges aren't the best coming out of Lightspeed, but they're still trying, Hydra still has to work for these goals. But
Oh,
it's Lightspeed, though, that's really struggling to kind of find find the net. They've had one shot all game, and it wasn't even that one. That one didn't even register as a shot, Mallow. Like, this team, it just seems completely different from what we've kind of experienced the first 2 games. So, Hydra, maybe they found a gear. They found something working. Zero going to try to get a beat on 2 there, but it's going to be Deco clearing that one to his side wall. As now he's trying to get another touch, but Oshi had that one under him. Colliver didn't have the boost to follow it. Does get a 50, though. Gets another 50, and Landon taking his time. Has a teammate mid, but Dr. Brown has already pre-jumped that touch and gets a 50 on Zero as well. That ball going to be bouncing up, but a great touch there. Deco waiting his turn. It's going to be Dr. Brown getting the clear, though. That ball landed to Deco. Deco couldn't get the pass mid as Colliver races downfield once again, and these long clears from Hydra, they're really starting to be effective now as Oshi has an opportunity to shoot and score, and there it is, the counterattack. It's a long clear from Colliver into a fake touch from Dr. Brown, but it still results in a goal for Hydra and a 4-0 lead, Mallow. Man, it's just a flip of the script from last game.
yeah, because here we are now. We're seeing Lightspeed with the very much lack of offense, and Hydra with all of the offensive pressure. And what I really noticed in this game, Flip, is that Dr. Brown has really turned up the aggression. Most notably, I think he was extremely passive the first 2 games. I think he was trying to play like his normal play style with maybe Saucy there. I don't know if that's normally their play style, but he was definitely playing like a different person was on the pitch, and now he is the aggressor. And right now, Hydra is starting to see some life as they're likely here. I would say they're going to win this game 3.
Nah, it's already over. Like, I've already wrote it down in the books, but, Lightspeed, they could probably make a goal happen here or there. Deco going to try to do so. Deco, I closed my eyes. I didn't see that shot. That's okay, buddy. You'll try again next time. As Colliver and Oshi are going to try to combine and clear this one down. Zero, he's going to hit that one off the ceiling. It should fall. Yeah, and there we go. Hydra, nice, solid Game 3 win here, Mallow. Looks like we might, we might be seeing a little resurgence here in the series from Lightspeed. Or, sorry, from Hydra. Lightspeed, they just seemed a little slow, a little sluggish. And maybe it's Lightspeed's turn to, figure out a counter to this Hydra playstyle with the demos, like you said. With, honestly, I think just a lot better first touches in general coming out of Hydra. But as a whole, I don't think Lightspeed played nearly as well. A couple more double commits. And I think they got punished on those double commits, which is the bigger thing. But now that you're able to identify those weaknesses, let's see if Lightspeed can, find some corrections.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw there in that game, Lightspeed struggled when that pressure was on, and even at certain points, with the double commits, panicking. So, will they tune it back down, return to their roots from game 1 and 2, or will they get the same treatment that they got there in game 3, and they're going to be struggling again? But we'll see. Here's Deco is dribbling that ball towards the goal, but Colliver I think I said that right. Colliver getting the save.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness.
Landon almost had an insane double. It was off target, and then Hydra almost helped him out for it. But you know what? It's still 0-0, Mello. It's only been 30 seconds. Nothing to panic about yet. A ball that got lofted towards the net. Zero doesn't get the double touch, and it's going to be Dr. Brown getting the pass. Zero couldn't get the touch off the backboard either. That one popped up high. Dr. Brown and Colliver just went straight for the kill. And that is insane to me. Nobody was able to follow up that ball, but it's still Hydra in the offensive half, which we saw so little of in games 1 and 2. But man, their aggression, like you said, really has stepped up a notch as Oshi with a not so great touch. That one could be a shot for Deco, but Caliber there to back him up on it. Caliber, not a lot of boost here. In fact, his tank is 0. Landon didn't know that, but he's still able to get a nice 50. Trying to get a 50 on Dr. Brown or a beat, but Dr. Brown had that one perfectly read. 0 with a nice touch. 0 with a good 50 as well. A demo from Dr. Brown. Deco, last man back with a nice touch. Caliber up in the air. Deco over 1. 0 elects to not go, and Dr. Brown's going to have a long clear. And Hydra, once again, in this offensive half, trying to start just a little bit more pressure. Landon, able to get the clear. Deco, able to get the shot, but waiting downfield is Caliber. It's been a minute and a half, and it's been a lot of Hydra. Lightspeed, looking like they have a couple opportunities, but these counters from Hydra are really starting to pick up. A 3-man passing play there. A bump. Oshi shot, just not going to find the back of the net. Just not strong enough. But once again, like I said, this Hydra team, whenever they're strong on these counters, they are really strong, Mallow, and that's what we're seeing right now. They're trying to find a way into this net, but Lightspeed, they've done a good job of thwarting these attacks, but they're not able to get much offense going themselves.
Yeah, no, but oh man, that was almost a potential bad piece there. But hold on, it's not over yet. But Dr. Brown almost got a great 50 there on their offensive side, but wasn't able to clear that one, and unfortunately just lined it up for the Lightspeed, and Lightspeed scoring first here. And I could be wrong here, but I think whoever has scored first has won each game so far. Is that right?
I don't remember game 1.
Well,
I don't know.
It's 0-0 again now, so I mean,
Yeah.
we can ignore the fact.
Yeah,
right.
Erase it from your mind. Landon didn't get the touch. 0 fell off the back wall. Man, some defensive tips here, Mallow. If you're on the back wall, stay on the back wall, unless the ball is like literally getting cleared for you. Just stay on the back wall. You know, there's nothing wrong about that. Dr. Brown, he's trying to teach these kids a lesson. Not going to happen there. But he is still, you know, he's racing back and getting some bumps on the midfield passer. But 0 able to get a long clear. Dr. Brown, not a lot of boost, still gets a touch. Deco over 1, tries to get it over 2, and he does. Towards the sidewall, doesn't have a lot of boost to work with. Gets a touch mid. That one going to get answered by Colliver all the way downfield, and Landon going to take his time with that one. No, he's going to hit that to the sidewall. Oshi, not a great touch, but Dr. Brown there to collect the follow-up from Landon. Deco now, trying to get it past Dr. Brown, and he does. Trying to get the 50 on Colliver, and he can't do that one. Colliver with a nice touch, but 0 able to be there for him. Oshi now towards the sidewall. Deco had that one read and answered immediately. Deco, a lot of boost in the air. Dr. Brown, a lot of boost in net. Who's going to win this one? It's good offense. It's better defense. A great save there from Dr. Brown. And Hydra keep this score tied. That one definitely could have been a goal there, Mallow. And Lightspeed, you know, they're kind of starting to ramp things up with these attacks. Another attack here, but Hydra, their defense, it's holding on strong for now.
Yeah, now we're seeing great gameplay all around by Hydra. You know, we saw a lot of offense and very little defense last game. They had the 3 saves from the 3 shots on. Is that in? That's in. Oh my goodness! From the 3 shots that Hydra had, or sorry, Lightspeed had last time, and now we're seeing a much more even game. But Dr. Brown, he is pretty much all over the place right now, and I think we need to see all of Hydra as a cohesive unit here. Otherwise, we might be seeing the end of the series.
Yeah, Colliver with that 50, just that's a crucial mistake. Like, that is a critical mistake. Like, man, you just can't 50 towards your own. Like, it's just I don't know. It's a shame to see, but in the end, it's still just a 1-goal lead. There's a minute remaining. Can Hydra pull it back? Lightspeed, they're going to try to extend this lead as Landon's shot going to get saved away. Colliver now towards the sidewall. He can be dangerous in the air. He's looking for the pass over to Oshi. Deco and 0 combined to make that stop. But Dr. Brown, instant chow, almost a rule 1. Could have been devastating if you're a Hydra fan. I'm not going to lie. That would have been tragic. But that touch might be tragic from Colliver, but nobody from the Lightspeed was there to capitalize. Deco sitting all the way back, being very safe. I'm not gonna lie, Deco, he's a very safe player in general, but Man, this man is sitting all the way back as that shot from Oshi
Oh,
was
wait a
good.
minute.
The shot from Dr. Brown might just be better, but the save from Deco is going to come through. It was on the goal line for
Wait.
half an
Oh,
hour. Landon's able to make that save. Dr. Brown now trying to continue the pressure. The bump
wait.
doesn't come through. It doesn't matter. Oshi's there. We got a tie game.
Oh my goodness, what a sequence there. Oh man, Hydra was not giving up on that. What a great job by Hydra pushing and pushing and pushing that ball, making it up against that back wall there, sending it across the goal multiple times, not giving up, despite it even being halfway in. But it's still 7 seconds, and the way we just saw things going, it may not be over yet. But I think we might be seeing the end of the end of the game here, end of regular regulation going into overtime.
Overtime once again, and it's going to be a
Wait.
kickoff goal again, and I'm really... Oh, my God, thank the Lord. Okay, I spoke too soon. Oh, my goodness. Mallow, it was a great series. I'm not going to lie. Very, very fun series. Man, anticlimactic ending. Caldwell had a nice save, but Deco was there to punish. Work on your kickoffs, boys. I don't know what to tell you. That's 2. That's rough.
That is indeed rough. Light speed, though, you called it 3-1, winning the series. It very well could have went to Game 5 the way Hydra was playing there at the end. But Light speed, they've just played a little bit better at the end there, winning that game and taking the series. That that does put a hinder on Hydra's chances of getting the number 1 seed. I don't think it's out of the realm just yet. But once
It ain't
again,
happening.
congratulations to the Lightspeed team here, winning the series and definitely making a potential playoff run. And if I'm Hydra, I'm praying for miracles for Wednesday and later on today. Please give us some help because I definitely don't want to play these guys again. But you know them better than anyone. It could be a different story with a different lineup.
Yeah, no, it definitely could. But I will say, I think Lightspeed played their game really well. I feel like Deco, Landon, and Zero all played really like to their strengths. Landon insta-shelled so much, so much. So did Zero, and Deco really played that third man role really well. And that's kind of just how those players like to play. Um, and so I think the fit is fitting really well in this Lightspeed team. Now 2-0 against this Hydra team. Shout out Jax for that knowledge. Thank you, Jax. Also, shout out Jax for 10 gifted subs earlier. I don't know if we did that, but I guess you're pretty cool. There you go. I appreciate you. You also gifted me a sub last week. Thank you. But man, Mallow, that was a great series. Like all in all, obviously, some people, if you're Thunderbirds, you didn't want Lightspeed to win. That sucks. Oh well, sorry, Crip. But some other teams definitely wanted Lightspeed to lose that one as well. Blaze, sorry, not Blaze, but like Chimeras, who is going to be playing later tonight, kind of needed that Lightspeed team to lose as well. Mafiosos. So the play-ins about from 10 to 13 really are fighting for those that last play-in spot. Even Distortion is not completely safe. So what I'm saying is, Mallow, Lightspeed just upset a lot of people, and I'm kind of scared to play him now. That team is looking really strong.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. And you talked about Jax with his 10 gifted subs. Definitely shout out to him. But we also have to give a shout out to Rockerman doing his tier 1 sub for 63 months. Absolutely crazy. Also, C Money before the stream even started as well. Got a sub for I don't recall what the amount of months was. I had to refresh my stream so I didn't get to see what the number was. But C Money getting that tier 1 sub in. Appreciate that, both of you, and Jax there. I don't know if we want to take a few minutes to kind of like give a quick rundown of the playoff picture for all of the leagues real quick, just to give an idea of how competitive this season has been. But I will say we have so many teams across the board with a chance to still get into the play-ins and a lot that have clinched the playoffs, including Novice League, which the league I'm a part of. No one has been eliminated yet. It is so competitive down there. And it's a competitive just about everywhere that we've seen, especially Titan and Rival here, which we're going to see another Rival match later on. It's been an incredible season, and I suspect the rest of the night as well as Wednesday, we're going to see banger after banger after banger after banger.
Yeah, I agree. Sadly, I'm not sure how much time we have, but we're gonna go ahead and take a little break here. Also, shout out Neons, you just subscribed, my goat. That's 10 months now. Thank you. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick little break. Mallet, it was a blast casting with you. The series was a great one until it hit overtime. Every time. But all in all, obviously, rival leagues always super fun to cast, especially whenever I know the players. I love casting my own leagues like that. But Mallet, thank you for joining me in the booth. And if you don't got anything else to say, we're headed out of here.
Yeah, thank you guys once again for having me. Flip, shout out to Crip for streaming this. But we are going to go to the Prospect League after this short break. It's going to be the Blackhawks versus the Origin. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
Yep, we'll be back. Deuces.
Hey, they screaming, this is my moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here, now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here, now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here, now, this is the moment.
One too many times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back just to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it, cause I'm here now,
Waiting for the flag to fall.
waiting.
Here, now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here, now, this is the moment.
Right here, right now, right now.
Now, waiting for the curtain call. Here, now, this is the moment.
Literally, he puts it in. 0 seconds remaining. Maybe teams are gonna be playing hard for it. Oh my goodness, Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, Scott, oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through.
Place this he's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. On the backward. Can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Pick up the shot.
Is this serious? Now, hold on. Surely this can. Oh my
Let's
lord.
go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, open stay on the goal line. He did not win nearly over. Sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League. It's your boy Gallium, and I'm here with a very special production today. Two of the best teams in Prospect going head-to-head for a clash of the ages to see who will snag that #1 seed. I'm joined here by Ventus. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I am super, super excited to see this matchup. It won't necessarily determine the 1 seed. Origin does have a little bit of a lead. They're currently sitting at 13-3, whereas the Blackhawks are at 11-5. But Blackhawks really wanting to move up in the standings. They are in a 4-way tie, it looks like, with the Warhawks, Velocity, and Vipers. So any win here gives them a big boost in the seeding wise, because even though they're at 4 seed, they can be 2 seed just after this game. So it should be a really good match. Both these teams really, really solid. Obviously, Origin, yeah, Rockerman. I think Hunzer still is the starter. I don't
Yeah.
think they've
Yeah,
switched
yeah.
it up, and Sweeney, and so that Origin roster has been very good. Blackhawks also very good. Kosh, Perky, and Lo-Fi. I mean, that's a super solid roster. I know I have Kosh in my Nemesis fantasy, so I'm really hoping he pops off for me tonight. And I mean, otherwise, it should be a really good match. Just because Kosh is on my team, I'll give the Blackhawks the
Word?
3-2 in best of 7,
Yeah, you're not biased at
or
all, right, dude?
best of 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not
not at
biased.
all, not at all.
Okay. Heard that. Well, so in this matchup, Blackhawks can actually get the first seed. If they sweep Origin tonight, they win their next game and Origin loses their next game. So, and Origin plays Hypernova on Wednesday. So it's not completely out of the question that they could slip down further than the 1 seed. But with that being said, I know you threw your prediction out there a little bit, but I kind of want to say that I think the Blackhawks are going to win personally. I think they're more battle tested. Origin just got Rockerman back on his computer. I'm not saying, that it's going to make like a super big difference like before and after, but it does definitely help. And it's definitely a little bit, as a player, like weird to get your player back. You know what I'm saying? Like he's back to 100% Rockerman and you have to like adjust to that. So Origin seems to be adjusting well. They've absolutely curb stomped teams on their way to this game, and now facing the Blackhawks is probably their biggest test yet. Last time they faced the Blackhawks, they did sweep them. So history might repeat itself here, or with the new addition of Juice, we could see a totally different game here.
I'm looking for both these teams to come out swinging. Both these teams are going to come out the gate very aggressive. I can already assume that. I mean, Kosh and Lo-Fi are going to be all over the pitch. I mean, Rockerman going to be all over the pitch as well, as we are going to kick game #1 away. I mean, Origin in the black, Blackhawks in the white.
Wow. I mean, probably the worst color scheme matchup of the season. I mean, would you agree, Ventus?
I mean, very, very unfitting as the Blackhawks are in the white and Origin is in the black. Seems a little bit off-putting to me, but we'll work with what we can here.
All right. Well, you know what? Both these teams are kind of getting warm themselves because it took them a while to get in this lobby. So, I'll give them benefit of the doubt early, as we see Origin threatening early, and Juice is using the Dominus. I haven't seen him use the Dominus. He's usually an Octane player, so we'll see how that affects anything as he gets a nice touch. Rockerman up with it, sends it to the backboard. Perky sends it to the side. Ever since Rockerman got back on his PC, he has not lost a single series. So if the Blackhawks want to win this, they're going to have to play the best game of this season, and I think what it comes down to is Perky. Perky's the wild card. One day he's looking like the best player in Prospect. The next day he's looking like me. So you really have to get Perky going, And I think instead of him being his normal solo play self, I think he has to adapt to what Origin are giving him.
I might be a little bit confused here because I thought you said, some days he's playing the best in the prospect and some days he's playing like you, but isn't that the same thing? They're both the best player in prospect?
No. Ventus, you can't glaze on Nemesis cast, bro. You know this. We can only glaze the players on the pitch. As we see Hunter taking a nice touch. Kosh up with it. Can't get a touch. Rockerman sends it down. Perky. Beautiful play in his own right. Juice can't pre-flip into that, and Perky doesn't have a whole lot of boost to work with. Goes for a demo. It seems like Blackhawks can't really get a play going. So Origin's kind of sitting back, letting it all happen, and Rockerman's going to get the scoring off to a roaring start.
It's a great shot. It's a bar down, so unfortunately Lo-Fi gonna kind of get the own goal here, but he has to play that shot on. A great placement for Rockerman. Unfortunate for Lo-Fi, but overall, Origin really showing up early. I mean, Hunzer and Sweeney have both been going for a lot of these bumps, disrupting the Blackhawks play, not allowing them to really break out of their half. But as I say that, Juice Lo-Fi with a great read off the corner, and he's going to put that one in to tie up the scoring.
He did own goal that last goal. I'm not going to put too much on him for that one, but I mean, what a way to respond, especially off kickoff. I mean, it seemed like Origin kind of had this game in the bag, 7 shots to 2 so far. And I think the thing with Origin that trips a lot of people up is, wait a second, the ball might just be rolling in the back of the net. We have kickoff goals galore here, Ventus.
Yeah, I don't even really... an interesting loss from Kosh, not really working out in his favor. Is Sweeney going to get a little extra touch on there to put it behind that last man back from Blackhawks, or the cheater from Blackhawks, excuse me. And I mean, it's just a kickoff shot that did not pan out for the Blackhawks. You can't say too much about that. I like the effort that the Blackhawks are putting in. They're trying to change up their kickoffs, trying to gain that possession, but it's just not going to work out for them this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted by Air Sweeney was the thing that trips teams up about Origin. Okay, that might just be in the net. Matter of fact, it is in the net. And the Blackhawks have conceded another big goal off of a very big mistake.
It's a great touch by Sweeney, just able to perfectly catch it right in his car path, allow him to get that second touch, put it on target, and a great counterattack goal from Origin once again. And I mean, Hunzer not really having to do much, having that 36 points, but Sweeney coming out very strong early in this series, looking to prove that, we can't forget about him in this Origin squad. A lot of people talk about Rockerman and Hunzer for his solo plays, Rockerman for his demos. And I mean, Sweeney kind of feels like he gets left out, so he doesn't want to show us up too much, but he's already showing out in game 1.
Yeah, and if I could talk about Origin for 2 seconds, I mean, every time I try to compliment their gameplay, it seems like another shot is being sent towards the Blackhawks neck. They really need to get it together, but wait a second, it's a one-on-one opportunity. Hunter, hello? Hunter just let it go past him. I don't know if that was like some BM stuff or if he just genuinely got sauced that hard, but nonetheless, Kosh gonna 50 it up. Perky can't get to that one. Hunter sends it to the side. Juice gonna read that one, and now Rockerman's last back. Hunter is gonna get boost and trust in his management member and the creator of the Nemesis Gaming League, Rockerman. And honestly, so far, Ventus, I don't really see any way that Blackhawks win this series. So, but just based off how they're playing now, because Origin, they don't try to control the midfield, and that's what most teams try to do. They are either in their zone, playing like all 3 of them back, like they're basically like 3 Eskimos in an igloo, all right? And then they're either all 3 back or all 3 attacking, and they switch back to back, and it's really hard to get a read on it. So I think for the Blackhawks, they're really just going to have to rely on their slow, methodical plays as Hunter, the all-star, going to get one in the back of the net.
See a couple of missed touches there. Perky not able to get that one, saving his flip, and then Kosh not able to get that touch either. Very awkward for him, just trying to block Rockerman and then having to block Hunter as well. Not really knowing which of them is going to shoot it. And I mean, Origin showing out very strong, outshooting 12-4 here against the Blackhawks. But they have shown some promise. Kosh almost had that nice goal there as he absolutely sauced Hunter earlier. But unfortunately, he just couldn't get the flick on target, and it kind of just stunted the entire offense. Blackhawks are not able to get anything there. And it was just a little bit disappointing for me, especially with how well he was able to take that dribble, just not being able to finish the job. And it seems like that's what the Blackhawks have lacked doing so far in this series. They just haven't finished their scoring opportunities on the offensive side of the ball. Once they're able to do that, I can definitely see them coming back into the series.
So they're kind of just driving circles around the Blackhawks right now. Their rotations are looking so clean. And I'm pretty sure Hunter and Rockerman have been like friends for like years and years and years. So if they don't know how each other plays by now, I'd be kind of concerned, not gonna lie. As Rockerman gonna pop it up. Air Sweeney gonna get a nice touch, and the two-time MVP making a statement.
Yeah, I mean, just once again, another a great touch by Rockerman, to be honest, and Air Sweeney just kind of only had the bottom corner to place it. Cautious, not able to get a touch. It looked a little bit of a ghost touch there. But I mean, Rockerman, a great pass and a good follow up from Sweeney. But overall, Origin, very dominant series. I mean, they outshot 16-4. They added what, 4 more shots in the time that I said it in the last 30 seconds. I mean, Origin just absolutely dominant, especially on the offensive side of the pitch, able to hold that midfield very well. No one player necessarily standing out too well. We've obviously seen Air Sweeney have those 3 goals. But I mean, Hunzer and Rockerman also putting up a bunch of pressure on their own with those bumps, demos, the solo plays. Rockerman having an assist as well at the end there, and 7 shots of his own. And overall, just a very clean series from Origin, a little bit messy from the Blackhawks, as it looks like we have a crashed computer on the side of Blackhawks. So we'll get to chat a little more. I mean, I'll talk a little bit more about what I want the Blackhawks to kind of do in this next game. I
mean,
think
you
that
are the expert. You are
yeah.
the Titan League phenomenon.
Oh, of course, of course. I'm just such a knowledgeable guy about Rocket League that I have all of the insights to every single possible play. I mean,
There you go.
nothing is out of my um purview, if you will. And I mean, the Blackhawks really just struggled to finish those shot attempts. They haven't really been able to maintain that midfield well. And I think it can kind of stem from they're not maintaining their possession. A lot of the time, they're just having to throw the ball away and adhere to the Origin pressure. And it kind of just works like a boa constrictor. The more you just throw away the possession, the more you do that, the more Origin can just go and take their boost. They can bump, they can demo. It allows them so much more space. It allows them to control the entire field instead of having to fight Blackhawks for the space in their third and their half. And they Origin have pretty much just played pick up in the midfield. Blackhawks haven't forced them to really work for any of their possessions. They've just allowed Origin to receive the ball with open arms. And that's the one thing that Blackhawks really need to work on. These solo plays out of Perky and Kosh have been fine, but they still haven't netted anything. They either need to pass it to the outlets in the midfield to get the offense going, or they need to hold possession better. We saw it a little bit with Kosh on that dribble play, and I want to see it more from them this game.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it. The one time they did control it, it was Kosh, and I mean, he did very well for himself. As wait a second, he, almost got a double there, but Juice started off the scoring hot, and he switched back to the Octane. This might be bad looks for Origin.
Yeah, I mean, just a very speedy play from Kosh, able to beat both Rockerman and Air Sweeney, and it is just a very fast, good play from the side of Kosh, able to just beat the Origin defenders and really open up the scoring. And it's another kickoff goal, so are we too surprised?
Yeah, I'm not really surprised at this point. I think that's an Origin special is kickoffs. They either get scored on almost immediately off kickoffs, or they're doing the scoring. So you see a little bit of a double commit going out here. It seems like Kosh and Perky are just having some communication issues so far. I feel like they're both trying to play the same role as of right now. So in terms of that, I think you really should have used that computer crash as a chance to talk to your teammate and ask, okay, where do you want me? What should I do in certain situations? Because I mean, they're crossing lines right here as Hunter tries to put it top left, can't really do so. Juice can't get another touch, and now Air Sweeney gets it back the other end. Rockerman misses his touch. Kosh sends it over to Perky. Perky can't get there as Hunter makes a great defensive play. Juice gonna fake out both the Origin players, and Juice sends it down. He might have another one here. Air Sweeney, very nice play. Perky pops it high. Very good pop, but unfortunately, it's for the side of Origin. as you know what, it's a little bit better here. I feel like the roles are kind of reversed so far. I mean, Origin's kind of banging it down to them as of right now, but this could be bad as Hunzer makes a great play to even the scoring.
Yeah, fortunately, just a great 50 there coming out from Rockerman. Perky a little bit too overzealous in his teammates' ability to win that ball there, and having to make a very awkward read off the ceiling and the back wall bounce. And unfortunately, the Origin going to capitalize on that. Hunzer gets his first goal of the series. And more to come from him as Hunzer, a very good player. I did see Kosh and Perky. There was certain communication there between those two where they're able to leave the ball for each other and not just double commit. And so maybe the communication cleaning up a little bit, allowing them to keep more of the midfield presence, as this one has been a much more midfield heavy game, as there have only been 3 shots out in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, total complete switch, and you gotta have to be prepared for that kind of switch, especially on a stream game. There's a lot of strategy that goes involved with how teams want to adjust, and you could adjust and it not work out, but it seems like for both these teams, their adjustments are working out just fine so far. As Kosh can't get to that one. Rockerman chasing this ball down, gonna get Perky in the process. Hunzer sends it down the sidewall, but Kosh gonna get a nice 50. Air Sweeney up with it. Hunzer tries to follow it up. Unfortunately, cannot get the touch there. Air Sweeney off the backboard. Rockerman gonna try to shoot, but he ends up giving it right back to Air Sweeney, as he's just gonna dribble it all around the Blackhawks zone. They have control of the boost and the ball right now, but wait, this could be bad here, as never mind, Hunzer gets a bump, and I mean, that's just what Origin does. Is a great save from Perky, actually saving that goal, but Hunzer's up with it. Great save from Juice. Now, this is exactly what the Blackhawks need. They need some resilience here, because that was almost surely a goal, Ventus.
Some great resilience coming out of them, like you said, and great defense, a great save by Perky, to be fair. And we finally saw them play patient enough there. Origin didn't get a great touch, and they were able to pick it up in the midfield, and a great shot coming up by Kosh, but it just off target. And a pass coming out to Perky. Perky looking for the double tap, not going to be on target either. Some good offense coming out as well from Blackhawks. A much more even game, even with that Origin pressure.
Yeah, I mean, you see they're finally going back to their roots. They've discovered how they want to play, and now you just have to execute it. As Juice is trying to 50 out Rockerman. Rockerman just misses the ball. Perky sends it into the corner. Kosh off the backboard. Hunzer sends it up for his teammate, and now Air Sweeney with very little boost tries to make a play. Kosh gets a demo on Rockerman, but wait, this could be bad. Hunzer last to defend. He's going to maybe get demoed, but a great pre-jump from Hunzer. Rockerman misses that ball, or we can call it a tactical fake. Rockerman sends it to the side. He's going to try to continue this play, but unfortunately, Kosh is there to stop it. Blackhawks have awakened a little bit here. Can they capitalize? They're going to need to win this game if they want any chance of the series, as Perky gets one, can't get it past Hunzer. Now Juice is the last to defend. Juice gets one, gets a nice 50. Now Kosh is up with it. He doesn't get a great touch, but Perky trying to beat Hunzer. He gets a nice 50. Now Kosh, 0 boost to his name. He can't get a double. And Juice and Perky are both very low boost. They're going to have to corral boost here if they want any chance of doing anything in the future. Perky, nice play. Unfortunately, gets 50'd out by Rockerman, but a great play on the backboard from Juice. He's going to try to get a 50. Unfortunate 50 from him. And now Rockerman takes this ball. He's going to corral it. Nice flick from him. He tries to get another touch off the sidewall, but unfortunately can't. Perky, a nice shot. Can Hunzer save it? Oh, he gets a little bit of an awkward save, but Rockerman racing back to save it. Kosh accidentally backflips, and it seems like this game is probably going to go to overtime if Perky, opts to keep it on the up in the air. But it seems like both teams want to go into overtime, and I would look out for a kickoff goal here, if I'm going to be honest. Origin love kickoff goals, but we've made it past that point, and now it's overtime here. Who do you have taking this game?
I definitely have the Blackhawks. They've looked a lot better. They've maintained possession. They've forced Origin into really tough spots, and they've sped up their pace of play, which is a big thing that has thrown Origin off, as well as Lo-Fi, Perky, and Kosh have all become a lot faster to the ball, really making it Origin pressured and forcing touches that aren't great, and Blackhawks are able to capitalize off of that, as they have been able to break out of their half due to that.
Yeah, 100%, but you can never count Origin out. I feel like every time that someone doubts Origin, they just score another goal. So I mean, we'll see if they can't get this overtime win and extend their lead on this series, but Air Sweeney and Rockerman are going to try to do that right now. Rockerman sends it down. Juice, an unfortunate touch. Air Sweeney's going to be able to capitalize. Kosh now. He can't get more than that. Now Juice pops it high. Perky with a little bit of boost. Can he make the play? And Perky, he gets the overtime winner.
A great pass coming out from Juice Lo-Fi, and Perky, all he's got to do is just place it around the last defender who's having to pre-jump across net, just trying to get a touch. And overall, I mean, I was correct. The Blackhawks did end up taking it in overtime. The offense clicked a little bit for them. The defense, the midfield presence, all of it kind of worked out, and they've kind of found their footing. And now what they have to do is build off of that, the foundation that they've laid in this game, and continue to be that fast, aggressive team who is able to punish Origin for their overcommits on offense and their lackluster touches when they do happen.
You know, need I remind the audience that Origin against the Warhawks with Lucky, by the way, and Rockerman on a laptop lost 9-2 in game 1 and then won the next 3 games in the series. So if you're going to count Origin out, I would highly advise against it, as Rockerman, a nice touch from him. Perky seems like he's playing much better. A much needed goal from him. He finally is feeling himself here as that one might float in. Rockerman, nice play. Now that Perky's activated, this Blackhawks team might be a little more dangerous, but Rockerman, he hasn't really made the impact that I thought he was going to make, but it turns out, you know, if you demo all the cars, it's kind of hard to hit the ball into the back of the net.
He's definitely added his value in those demos. He's opened the path a lot of the time for Air Sweeney to really pop off, especially in that game 1. We didn't see it as much in game 2, as it was much more a midfield pressure fest, as neither team was really able to gain much momentum, and we weren't able to see Rockerman with a lot of shots coming out, or a lot of demos coming out, as we see a shot coming out there. But I think that once Origin gets into a groove and they start making that offensive pressure, we see a lot more value coming out from Rockerman, as he's just able to get those very valuable demos and allow that pressure to really constrict the defense.
Oh, 100%. It's Juice, a nice read, and Perky gonna put it in the back of the net, and Origin down early.
Yeah, I mean, a good 50 coming out from Juice, and the double tap to get it around Rockerman. We see a bump. Maybe it looks like a bump on Air Sweeney. Perky able to get there first, and the Blackhawks go up 1-0. And once again, we see just 2 shots to 0 shots on the side of Origin. The Blackhawks really maintaining the midfield presence and really forcing Origin to be kind of a little bit passive and not themselves that we saw in game 1.
Yeah, 100%. And something about this Origin team that I kind of admire is they're all, I mean, very established players in the Nemesis Gaming League. They've been here for a minute, as Hunter, one of those players, is going to get his first goal of the game.
It's a great pass by Air Sweeney, pre-jumping the touch from Kosh, and Hunter having so much faith in his teammate to almost pre-jump. He cheats very hard in the direction of the pinch that's going to occur, and he's just right on the money with his prediction, and he's going to put that one home to even up the scoring. And even though Origin only have 1 shot, they have equalized the scoring and equalized the momentum on the side of Blackhawks.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like all 3 of these players, they do something really important that I feel like it attributes to their success. I mean, I mentioned it earlier. You talked about Rockerman's impact on the field. I feel like all 3 of these players, they don't play for stats. They play to win. Stats are just secondary to them, but Kosh says otherwise. He says, give me 1 more goal for the season. One of the best shooters and prospects showing out again.
But you talked about unselfish play, and we see Perky going for a bump on Air Sweeney, that last defender in net, not allowing him to put any pressure on Kosh taking that shot, and Kosh able to just shoot at almost an empty net because there was nobody in his face, forcing him to shoot at an awkward angle or at a specific place on net. He's just able to generate all the power in the world, and a very good play coming out from both Kosh and Perky, and a big one for the Nemesis fantasy enjoyers.
Oh yeah. Who happened to be named Ventus. You're loving this right now. I mean, listen, I already got kicked out of the playoffs. Unfortunately, my team didn't do anything, but I wish I had all 6 of these players on my fantasy team. I would have been cooking, let me tell you what. Especially, you have 2 of the best value players on the pitch currently. Kosh for his MMR is the best pound for pound prospect player, and Hunter for his MMR is a very close second. He's absolutely spectacular as the ball is being sent into the back of the net off of maybe an own goal.
Yeah, I think that was an own goal off of Perky. It bounces off the back wall or off the post there, and Perky just gonna pop it right around Juice Lo-Fi and not able to get a touch. And just such an unfortunate a turn of events for the Blackhawks. Is it seems like the Origin pressure really got to them in that moment. Perky rushing his touch way too fast and not able to get it off target and make the save. But just as I say that, a pass coming out from Kosh and a great shot coming out by Lo-Fi just to give the Blackhawks another lead, and the scoring continues.
You know, did I mention this? I probably didn't. These two teams do not like each other, by the way. I mean, we talk about prospect beef all the time, but these two teams, I mean, they're fighting for the top position in prospect. I know Origin feels disrespected by the power rankings, and the Blackhawks feel disrespected by Origin. But Perky, I mean, on that own goal, you got to kind of feel for the kid. I mean, what an unfortunate goal, but the resilience from the Blackhawks is unlike anything I've seen against Origin. This is their biggest test yet, and I'm really curious if they're going to overcome this or maybe falter a little bit towards the end.
It'll definitely be a little bit of a tell for how these teams are going to do or perform in the playoffs. Obviously, the playoffs and play-ins are a whole nother beast, but the teams who can perform against the other top teams in the regular season have a good shot of performing well in the playoffs against the other top teams. And we see some pressure coming out from Origin, just unfortunately not going to end in a goal.
Yeah, unfortunate for the side of Origin. I mean, they're giving it all they have. They're trying to get these shots on net. They are out shooting the Blackhawks, but only by one shot as Juice gets it past almost the entire Origin defense. Hunter last to defend. Perky is going to take a little bit of a dribble here, and Rockerman tries to get another touch. Kosh can't find that one, and now it's time for Juice to cook as it's off the backboard. Juice sends it to Perky. A very risky play, but I don't mind it. Personally, it could have definitely caught them off guard, but it seems like now they're going to benefit off of that back pass. But Perky, nice play from him. He seems invigorated. I mean, the game one Perky was not the best, but I mean, since then, he's just been playing phenomenal as Kosh off the backboard. Can he find the double? No, he cannot, but it's a nice fake. Perky up with one. Can he get the double? Almost does, and that would have been a highlight reel goal, but all they need to do is stall out, and I think the best way to stall out is not letting their foot off the gas like they've been doing as Kosh sends it up. Is anyone there to make a touch? Perky sends a floater towards net. Hunter has to use half of his boost to save that one. Juice sends another one into the other corner. I think it was intended to be a shot as Kosh is up with it. Tries to get a flip reset goal, but Juice can't get there. Rockerman keeps it up. Can Origin keep this one up? Juice, a nice demo, and Rockerman lets it hit the floor. Blackhawks are one win away from maybe, potentially, taking down the 1 seed.
Very good play at the end, forcing Origin into very awkward spots. Origin not able to even mount a counteroffensive just because of how many saves they were forced to make. And I mean, unfortunately for me and Kosh, he wasn't able to get that 0-second goal.
You
that was
you
saved.
were the worst. Oh my gosh.
I'm showing no bias. I mean, Origin did play very well. I'm very happy with their play. I think that they just haven't been able to lock down Blackhawks into their half enough, and they've allowed Blackhawks to break out too easily. They haven't amounted enough of a midfield presence where they are forcing Blackhawks into positions where they give them the ball and they can kind of incorporate that constricting offense once again. And I mean, I'm sure we'll see it again next game, as we've seen it time and time again where Origin have started to force Blackhawks into a corner, but then one solo player, one great 50 comes out, and then all of a sudden Origin are a little bit overcommitted. So hopefully they clean up a little bit on that, and it should help them maintain their offense.
Yeah, 100%. And I think for the first time this season, Origin is going to have to adjust to the other team. I mean, the way that they're playing right now isn't working the greatest. It's not working, right? They're still doing pretty all right for themselves, but I mean, if you want to beat the Blackhawks, you got to really get to their heads. As Perky takes a dribble, tries to get a 50, an excellent save. from Hunter at the goal line. Hunter and Kosh, all-star teammates along with me, and it was so fun playing with both of them. They're absolutely great guys, and they're very good at Rocket League, as you can see right now. So I'm just curious who out of both of them is going to be the better player in the series, and which team is going to take this one, Ventus?
Think that even though Hunzer has played a little bit better, I think that as a whole, the Blackhawks have just meshed a lot better. Perky has really stepped up. Juice Lo-Fi has really became that solid rock of a third man, allowing Kosh and Perky to kind of play their aggressive play style that they're used to. And they've looked very complete as a team, whereas Origin, we keep seeing them double commit. We haven't really seen them work out. Hunzer hasn't been that player who's been able to create these solo plays. It's had to mostly come from Air Sweeney, and it's really limited Origin's potential. And so I think that Sweeney has had to step up big time, whereas we haven't had to see many of the individuals from the Blackhawks step up because they've just been so solid as a team.
100%, as Hunter almost gets a highlight reel goal, but Kosh gonna try to get a demo. Rockerman does well to avoid that one. Perky up with it, trying to air dribble it. Air Sweeney up with that one. Rockerman sends it off the ceiling. Air Sweeney sends it down. Juice gets the ball off the backboard, but Air Sweeney punishes him for a very uncommon Juice mistake.
It's a little bit of a heavy touch. He just not expecting it. He wants the roll up on the back wall just to keep the possession, but it's just going to pop out perfectly. Air Sweeney going to take that little bit of a freebie there to give Origin a 1-goal lead. And this is where we will see Origin really step up their aggression and force the Blackhawks into a corner with a 1-goal lead. They can play this aggressive play style that they like and not have to necessarily limit themselves, because if they let up a goal to a counterattack, it's oh well, the game's tied again. But if they're able to score and get an even bigger lead, that's what they're aiming for right now.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. They're just a boa constrictor. They're trying to add on more and more goals to really make the opponents feel like they have no other option. And with this lead right now, this is a very dangerous Origin team. They're very good at keeping a lead, and especially a lead late, as Juice gets a nice 50. Kosh is going to have to race up for that one. Almost beats out Rockerman, but Rockerman, very nice touch. Perky has no boost, gets a decent 50. Sends it up to Juice. What a pass from Perky, considering he had no boost. Kosh can't get it past Rockerman. Perky sends it off the backboard. Hunter, a little awkward. You know, he does the thing that I feel like not a lot of us do anymore. I mean, bring backflips back into relevance, guys. I mean, I love me a good backflip, but it seems like nowadays, I mean, we're just getting too mechanical to have the backflip a fundamental play in Rocket League. And I know you're in the Titan League, Ventus. Do you use the backflip often?
It's usually only occurs when it's on accident and we're trying to go for a fast aerial and then we get scored on. So no, I mean, I can't say that I really use the backflip very much, but I think that it could be utilized in certain occasions, especially when you're keeping the possession or staying in a shadow defense against a player in a 1v1 opportunity, and it allows you to just completely change the momentum and get a good 50.
100%. Origin playing great defense so far, but that doesn't matter because Juice puts it upper decky.
I personally never go upper decky, but I mean, a great shot there coming up by Juice Lo-Fi off of a good pass from Perky. And they tie up the scoring. There's only a minute 30 left. We've seen crazy things happen in Forbidden Temple. Do we think Origin can force the game number 5, or do you think Blackhawks will clean out this game and take it down here?
I mean, honestly, they looked really good. I mean, they put on a lot of pressure to get that goal, and I feel like Origin finally cracked, but it's going to take a very, very good shot to get into the back of this Origin net. They've been playing defense so well this entire game, and it doesn't necessarily show on the saves sheet, but they have been up to meet every single challenge the Blackhawks have. As Perky with 0 boost. I mean, I've said that so many times this game. As Juice sends it over, Kosh can't get there. Rockerman, unfortunately, can't make the touch, and it's floating in front of the net. Air Sweeney puts it in the back of the net, and now Origin's up by 1.
A little bit of a change up there coming out by Air Sweeney, and he's kind of he's been the janitor here. He got 2 goals off of a cleanup from a great plays from Hunzer and Rockerman. Hunzer, a great touch, able to read that touch from Rockerman in the corner and able to get a beat on two, just really forcing the Blackhawks into a difficult time. And I mean, a great play from Origin, showing signs of life, and they didn't even necessarily need that long provided offensive stay. They were just able to make a 1-2-3 happen where they were able to beat all three defenders from the Blackhawks and just score very easily. So something rare that we haven't seen much coming out from Origin.
Yeah, 100%. And I did say they have to adjust, and honestly, I was wondering if they were too stubborn to adjust, but they seem to really embrace the adjustment and really work around it. I mean, they kind of sat back a little bit, played the counterattack, and it seemed to work for them. As the ball is floating up, can Perky make a play? Juice sends it off the backboard. Hunter tries to get it to the ground. Kasha, nice touch. Rockerman maybe to the ground. It still popped up in the air. Hunter finally sends it to the ground. And you know what? I expected this game to go to a game 5. So why don't we take it to Champions Field here, Ventus?
Yeah, I'd just like to point out that going into this game, Rockerman did say that he wanted the server reset after this game, just having the confidence that they're able to win game number 4 and force a game number 5. Very, very good to see from the side of Origin, especially when we are looking for the content to force the game 5. I mean, such back and forth. I mean, we both predicted a game 5 is very likely to occur with both these teams being such high caliber in the Prospect League. And I couldn't ask for a better match, and I'm just excited once again to get a game 5.
Yeah, it seems like it was just destined to happen at this point. As we get the server reset, players are slowly making their way back to the pitch. But I got to ask for one final time, Ventus. I know Kosh is on your fantasy team. I know you want the Blackhawks to win, but do you genuinely think they're going to win this series?
Well, so the funny thing is, I actually also have Rockerman on my fantasy team, and I completely forgot
Oh,
about that until just now. So I still think I'm
Rockerman
gonna
ban
go
him.
with
Ban
my
him.
my original prediction. I can't switch it up now. I've got to stay with the Blackhawks. Said it from the beginning that they were gonna win in a game 5 fashion. I got to see it through to the very end.
Yeah, 100%. And, the disrespect to Rocker. I mean, you didn't know the GOAT was on your roster. Come on, let's be honest. Here's Rockerman, a great fake. He puts one in early to give Origin a very nice lead here.
Very, very big. A little bit of a miss play from Lo-Fi on the kickoff. Kind of not sure what he was planning on going for there. Rockman gonna pick up the loose ball in the midfield and just fake out that last defender, giving an Origin an early 1-0 lead. And once again, Origin and the kickoffs strike again.
Yeah, 100%. It's just a common theme at this point. Perky already down the field. Unfortunately, can't get to that one. Kosh gets one. It's behind Rockerman. It's very awkward, but Hunzer doing well to assist his teammate. This might be kind of an open net. He just has to get it past Perky. A nice flick from Hunzer. I know he has a CP30 skin on, but like his flicks are so robotic. They're so like perfect. I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's like kind of like an AI doing a flick. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, he just looks incredible given those passes, and he's a great facilitator, but he has to be a great defender. As a beautiful save coming out from him, but he has 0 boost to work with. Juice pops it high. Air Sweeney gonna be there to meet it. It's off the sidewall. Perky can't get that one. Rockerman up with it, but Kosh is going to beat him out. It's floating towards the backboard. Perky, a nice touch. Air Sweeney, an even better one. And now Kosh, with a little bit of boost and some time, tries to bump out Hunter, but Perky, a chance of his own, can't get it to go. And this Origin team, again, just parking the bus a little bit here. Can Blackhawks maybe get a goal here? They're going to need one if they're going to want to win this series, that's for sure, as Rockerman sends it up. And, both these teams, it seems like they're just going blow for blow, except for that kickoff goal. I mean, it's anyone's game.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen Blackhawks majority have the pressure and force the Origin to play a little bit differently than we've seen. A lot of more defense. But Origin, once again, have been able to keep in that midfield. A good save coming out by Kosh, beating out that attacker in Hunzer. And, I mean, both teams look very poised to potentially win this game.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks great overall as Kosh can't get that one in the back of the net. Juice trying to pass it to one of his teammates, can't get it to go. Hunzer, beautiful defense from him. Rockerman just diving towards that 100 boost, and he gets it. Kosh, a nice 50 from him. He sends it off the side while Rockerman and Huns are up for that one. Perky has to punish this, and he does. Kosh sends it out to no one, and now Air Sweeney down the field. Juice with no boost. He has to pop this one in the air, and now Rockerman sends it down. This one might be on target, but a great save by Perky. But wait, this could be bad, but Perky gets back to that one just in time, and a terrible rebound for the side of Blackhawks actually turns into a very miraculous save from Perky.
It looked like Hunter just not able to get a lot of power on that shot. He kind of hit it with his purse, and unfortunately, it's just going to allow Perky the ability to make that save. But a miss coming out by Kosh is going to force Juice Lo-Fi into a save of his own. Luckily, he's going to get that one, but the pressure's starting to mount for Origin. We've seen this time and time again. They've been able to constrict them in the midfield. They've been able to starve them for boost, but luckily, the Blackhawks able to break out of their half. But this game, very back and forth. Both teams do not want to give a single inch of space to the other.
Yeah, I don't blame either one of them. I mean, both teams so talented. The ball is just kind of floating there. Rockerman gets to it first. It's up in the air. Juice beats out Rockerman, and now the ball in a dangerous spot for Origin, but it seems to always be in a dangerous spot for them, and they get away relatively unscathed. But Hunter, a miss. Rockerman gets it off the backboard. Air Sweeney going to be there to help his teammate out. Sends it towards the net, and Air Sweeney, upper right banger.
Yeah, top corner, perfectly placed, a good beat on, or a good 50 on Juice Lo-Fi, and then able to get back to it, able to use the rest of his boost, just perfectly place it right above Kosh. Kosh having to wait to see where the shot was going to be, and with as much power as Air Spinny was able to generate, unfortunately he just was not able to make that save.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a great play overall as, oh my goodness, Juice almost having a great play of his own. Seems like both these teams just want that highlight reel goal. It unfortunately hasn't happened yet. Both defenses are incredible. Kosh sends it across. Perky up with it. He has to score this one. Can't find the back of the net. Juice gonna fake out his teammate, and now this is very bad, especially against Origin. The 2v1 is gonna go the way of Origin, and Air Sweeney absolutely dominating in this game 5.
Yeah, and Juice Lo-Fi trying to get a little bit of a back pass to Kosh, but Kosh trying to keep up that pressure. A bit of a miscommunication, and then Juice Lo-Fi gonna end up hitting it past him, putting himself in that super awkward position. And, I mean, unfortunately, that comes directly after Perky's was not able to get a fairly open shot on target. So just a blunder of a time coming out from the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I mean, the worst time you want to make a mistake is game 5, but Perky gonna get one back. That is a much necessary goal if they're gonna want to maybe come back into this one.
Yeah, the earlier you can close the lead, the better. The more time you have towards the end of a series, just to make up those goals. Now it's a 2-goal difference in 45 seconds versus a 3-goal in a minute. So a very much more doable. But unfortunately, Kosh not going to be able to rip that shot on target, and we have just seen the Blackhawks not live up to their offense in Game 5 and really squandered the potential of a comeback. It's still possible, but it's very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, especially since Origin's defending so well. You know how I know they're defending so well? Blackhawks have been in their half for majority of this game, and they only have one save. Only one shot has made it to the net. So they are getting up there and challenging everything that comes at them. Air Sweeney gonna dribble it. Perky tries to get a 50, and I think this is all but over. Air Sweeney, the man himself, trying to get another one. Hunter, maybe one for the road. Rockerman tries to put one in the back of the net. Not gonna go. And Origin takes it in game 5 in a very thrilling fashion.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't ask for a better matchup. Both these teams came to play. Origin faltered in the middle, but they were able to clean up their act, win games 4 and 5, and were able to take the win and solidify themselves as that 1 seed. I mean, overall, just a great series. I really liked a lot of the Blackhawks plays and what they were able to accomplish, especially in those games 2 and 3. But unfortunately, just was not enough. They weren't able to sustain that, and we started to see some cracks in their armor as they started to make a few too many mistakes in Game 5. But this is a matchup I would love to see come postseason time.
Yeah, 100%. It seems like both of these squads very good, and honestly, Blackhawks do have a lot to work on. They are playing with a relatively new teammate, picked up around like 2-3 weeks ago. So they still have some time to grow, still have some time to learn, but we're running a little bit behind time. So I'm going to send it back to the studio once again. But thank you, Ventus, for casting with me. It's always a pleasure to be in the booth with you.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for. It's always a blast when I see Gallium as my casting buddy. But we have the Blaze versus who are the Blaze playing?
Chimeras.
Chimeras coming up next. We are taking a quick break. You do not want to miss it.
Peace.
Finally, he puts it in! 0 seconds remaining! It seems to be playing hard for it. Oh my goodness! Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, Scott, oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through.
Place this he's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. On the backward. Can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Pick up the shot.
Is this serious? No, hold on. Surely this can't. Oh my
Let's
lord.
go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, Copenhagen on the goal line.
He did merely over.
Your sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League. I am once again casting, and I have an absolute banger of a matchup for you as we are heading to the Rival League, where we are watching Blaze take on the Chimeras, and I am joined by the lovely, the amazing Speed. Speed, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just came off of my match, got another dub, so hoping some other things fall out our way. Just like Chimeras here are hoping things kind of fall out their way, where they are currently sitting in the last play-in spot. They do hold the tiebreaker over quite a few teams, but they're looking to definitely climb up. Give themselves that cushion. Lightspeed did just win, so they do have to win to be able to keep that tiebreaker. But drive the spot's in their driving seat, right? Or however you want to say it. They just got to come out and they got to do their thing.
They are controlling their own destiny. If they win today, they put themselves in a very good spot to secure the one of the last play-in spots. And I mean, you can make it. You can definitely make a run from the play-ins and be a very dangerous team to play at, even having to play the 1 or the 2 seed, which is Whiteout or Arrival currently. I mean, Chimeras control their own fate, but unfortunately, they are up against Blaze, who has been on an absolute tear. They have been very, very good, especially with the addition of Zimity. The trade from Sanzo the trade of Sanzo and Kisvi to Blaze seems to have worked out pretty well in their favor, as they have kind of separated themselves. Vortex obviously in a very similar boat. They are also at 9-7, so neither team really coming out super ahead. But with how the Blaze have been playing, I believe they've won their last 5 straight. I mean, they look very hard to beat.
Yeah, Blaze, definitely. I know we were a little worried when that trade first happened. I believe they lost their first game as a team since the trade. But since then, like you said, they've looked really good. And, Zimity, Sanzo, Kisvi, we've known these guys for a while. And then they even got a little super sub in Jtron, if he's ever needed to play. And Jtron's, made his name in the league for quite some time. This is his first season on Rival, but we've seen him in a few games, and he's looked pretty solid as well. So all around, this Blaze roster is just really, really solid.
Hopefully, we will be able to see the Blaze roster play very well. As we get game number 1 away, we see Dissa trying to control the ball, gets a beat on Kisvi, but Sanzo going to cut that one off in the midfield. Gilly getting a little bit of an open net, puts the shot on target. Dissa going to clean that one home and give the Chimeras a 1-goal lead.
And that right there, the man Dissa, you cannot count Dissa out. Dissa is probably, arguably, in my opinion, the star player here on this Chimeras roster. But he's got 2 great supporting players in Gilly and Beatree with him. I've played with Beatree back in Chally a little bit. He's just a great all-around supporting player. And, we see that here early on as he comes out with a big save on Zimity's shot.
Yeah, Dissa very much that high ceiling caliber player, but also a little bit of a low floor. If he's not on his game, it could be very detrimental to the Chimeras. It looks like he is very much on his game so far, and with the addition of the high kind of floor players, like you said, of Beatree and Gilly, they should amount to a good Chimeras roster. But just as I say that, as I'm giving them their props, a goal comes out on the side of Blaze to even up the scoring.
Yeah, and that's just great play there by Sanzo, throwing that off the backboard, letting Kisvi come up, eat that one up. They had Chimeras defense a little awkward there, as Gilly was kind of out in no man's field after he had committed for a challenge. So that's a little unfortunate for them. And I do want to say, Ventus, we casted together last match night on last Wednesday, and you had quite a few caster curses. And I wonder how much your tally is at, because we're going to add another one right there as you were just talking about chimeras and they let off a call.
I have no clue how many caster curses. Somebody can go back and go through this Nemesis season and see just how many. Keep a running tally, especially going through the playoffs. I'm sure I'll cast more. But another goal coming out from the Blaze. Looks like Sanzo gonna actually steal that one from Zimity to give Blaze a 2-1 lead, and a very dominant fashion so far after that one goal.
Yeah, I know Blaze let up the first one early to Chimeras, and then they're looking pretty solid since then. Sanzo out atop, having 1 goal, 1 assist. Good 100% participation early from him. We are still plenty of time left in this one. We got 3 minutes, but this Blaze roster, they are looking fast and they are looking smooth right now, as they just had another solid attempt, but the counterattack's looking to come out. But a little miscommunication coming out from Chimeras on who's going to go for the ball and who's going to go for that bump there.
That definitely hurt them in the side of being able to maintain the offensive pressure. But we see a demo coming out from Dissa, but unfortunately Zimity gonna pick this one up in the midfield, looking for an air dribble, trying to get it past Dissa, not gonna be able to do so. Sansa gonna have to pick this one up in the midfield, but not a great touch as Gilly was able to get back to it. Looks like Sansa taking this on the midfield, almost gets dunked by Dissa, but luckily gonna get that one away. Beachy, a good 50 back into the yellow half. Sanzo having to take his time. Not a great first touch. Does have the follow-up in Kisvy, though. And Kisvy gonna put a slaughter on and give Blaze a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, and that's just great play there. Kisvy realizing that Sanzo doesn't have the greatest touch, even though he was coming down for that pinch, but there was 2 defenders in the way. They read the pinch, but they didn't read Kisvy coming in and slaughtering it over their heads, as both the defenders pushed up a little far as a kickoff goal attempt trying to come through here. Gilly, can he put it on target? And yes, he can, and he is going to minimize that damage right there and keep this game within 1 goal.
Looks like Zimity not really reading that bounce off the corner, expecting it to roll up the back wall, not experiencing any threat. Plays it a little bit too slow, and Gilly gonna take advantage of that, and like you said, limit the damage to just 1 goal. Close the gap a little bit, and start to kind of sway the momentum in the favor of Chimeras. But a big miss coming out from Beatree might undo a lot of that, as Sanzo gonna have a touch into the midfield. Zimity's there for the follow-up. Leaves it for Kisvy. Kisvy looking for a shot. Gonna be saved by Gilly. Sanzo with a follow-up shot. Dissa having to make a save. Gilly finally picking this one up. Gonna get this clear out. Trying to get to a teammate. Dissa gets a beat on 2. Sanzo's last man back. But Sanzo gonna get a good save and a clear. Gonna turn this into a counterattack. Fakes Dissa. Leaves it into the middle for Kisvy. And goal to goal Sanzo putting the team on his back. Leaving a wide open net for Kisvy.
That's just a great play by Sanzo, and even better control there at the end to get the soft pinch and didn't send that flying across the net, as Kisvy didn't have a lot of boost and he was kind of hoping just for a softer touch, and he still barely just got to that. So, great heads up there by Sanzo to do a little bit of everything there and still remain such car control to be able to get that pass across.
Has been a name this game, as he has 1 goal and all 3 assists, earning that playmaker badge to Kisvy. 100% goal participation, and Blaze have seemingly picked up right where they left off after giving that 1 goal. Sanzo trying to get a clear out to Zimity. Zimity gonna backflip. Gilly putting a shot on net. Kisvy gonna have to save that one with 0 boost. Beatree looking for a pass in the midfield. A double commit coming out on the side of Blaze, but Kisvy already there waiting for that touch. Dissa having to put this one off his own backboard, and luckily Gilly able to follow that one, but he does get another dunk. He almost wasn't able to follow that. A 50 coming out into the midfield. Blaze, very awkward situation for Zimity and Sanzo. Zimity gonna get a 50. Gilly leaving the ball into the midfield for Dissa, but Sanzo gonna get a beat out. And with 40 seconds remaining, a little bit of a midfield battle here between Blaze and Chimeras. Gilly trying to clear this one out. A good redirect from Dissa, but not going to do anything, as Sanzo's going to pick this ball up for free. Dissa, an early challenge, does take the ball back, gets a potential shot opportunity, but Kisvy going to clear this one away. Sanzo getting a demo on 1, looking for a pass or a shot on his own. Dissa getting a great save to clear that one away, but Zimity putting that one right back into the midfield. Kisvy not going to be able to find that one on target. He's just going to elect to keep this in the Chimeras half, waste the time. Sanzo trying to get a touch to his own corner. Gilly gonna put this one off the back wall. And it looks like with time dwindling down, Blaze are going to take game number 1.
Yeah, Blaze, great game there by Blaze. You know, they let up that goal early, but they fought back. They took the lead, and then they just kind of ran with it from there. As we see Dissa and Gilly really trying their hardest here. You know, 1 goal, 1 assist apiece. You know, a lot of saves from the whole team, but that difference that I'm looking at here, Ventus, is the shot total. We're seeing 11 shots come out from Blaze, and we're only seeing 4 shots come out from the side of the Chimeras here. Now, obviously, they Blaze scored just as many goals as Chimeras had shots, which you can't win many games if that's the case. However, I think that what the Chimeras really need to work on is they need to get this Blaze defense moving left to right. So they need to really incorporate some infield passes and not just going off the backboard. Kisvi, Zim, Sanzo, they all have really great backboard defense. They can read those plays a mile away, it seems. So I think they need to really work on some of those smaller infield passes instead and really get this team moving side to side.
Hopefully, we will be able to see some more of those potential plays coming out from the Chimeras as we head into game number 2. Looks like Zimity gonna take this one, pop it to the back ball, but Gilly's already there. Unfortunately, Kisvi gonna catch this one a little bit in the midfield, beating 2 defenders, trying to get a dunk on the last man back. Gonna get some bumps as well as this one's gonna leak into the midfield. Zimity not able to get a touch. Beatree's gonna be first to this ball, but he's gonna be demoed by Kisvi. But a shot coming out, Dissa going for bumps. Unfortunately, Sanzo gonna get a great save, and Chimeras, although they were able to create a lot of pressure, not able to do anything with it as Dissa having to clear this one out, but taken away by Kisvi. This ball is gonna drop awkwardly in the back line. Beatree gonna have to get to this one. Does so. Gilly gets a good clear, but it's right to a Blaze player. Kisvi going up, gets a beat on Dissa as well. Zimity's on the back wall, almost gets a redirect. Sanzo's up as well, looking for the shot, just off target. Dissa with another save. Kisvi catching this one, putting this back into the midfield, gets a bump on Gilly, but Gilly still able to get a touch. Dissa slowing the ball down, getting a pass to Beatree. Sanzo, not a great touch, leaving it in the midfield. Dissa gonna put this one on the backboard, but Zimity already there, reading that touch beautifully as he's gonna stay with this ball, gets the full 100 boost, trying to get a pass in the midfield, but Dissa gonna clear this one away. Kisvi also getting a clear of his own, but he's gonna follow that one up with his shot, and he's gonna put that one in the back of the net.
That's one of the Chimeras you got to save. Kisvi doesn't have a lot of boost here. If you're Beatree, you got to challenge that earlier. I mean, I know he didn't have a lot of boost, but you got to put a hand up. You got to close down that angle to allow Kisvi. And Kisvi does just slot it by him. Great play by him, saving his flip at the end to really propel him with that no boost to be able to follow that ball up. But, you know, again, Blaze starting off fairly early here in this game number 2, and Chimeras seem to not have a lot of answers. They still don't have a lot of offensive pressure. Only 1 shot to their name in this game so far. And Blaze has just really owned that midfield as well.
Seem to not really be on the same page. It looks like Dissa playing a little bit differently than the way Beatree and Gilly are, with those two electing to play a little bit slower, play a little bit more possessive, and Dissa is playing a little bit too fast. He's kind of giving the ball away frequently, and he just hasn't done too much. He's facilitated some passes, but unfortunately Beatree and Gilly weren't there to be there for the shot. And so we've seen a little bit of a disconnect coming up from the Chimeras, and it's allowed Blaze to just a mass amount of pressure. And it looks like they might be doing so once again as Gilly a good clear, but Dissa a team bump. Kisby a bump of his own. Zimity gets a 50 into the corner. Sanzo gets a demo, but gets beat. Beatree gets a beat on one. It's in the yellow half. Gets a beat on Zimity. Sanzo awkward as last man. Gilly, 0 boost though. Not able to follow that one, and it's going to be saved away. Kisby, a good 50, but it's right to beat Beatree. Beatree electing to catch this one, but not a great touch as Zimity able to contest him and get a beat. Kisby looking for a pass off the backboard. A double commit comes out once again from the side of Chimeras. And Blaze retain possession. Zimity going for a little bit of an air dribble, but has 0 boost to his name. Sanzo gets a beat on one as well. Kisby with a slot, top left corner. Another pass from Sanzo. Kisby gonna put this one home to give a 2-0 lead.
And I thought this play, the way it started out, was Zim calling off Sanzo there with not not a lot of boost, and Sanzo had almost 60% boost there. I definitely thought that was going to be wrong, but Zim made the best of it. Got it off the backboard to Sanzo. Sanzo, again, able to get it off the backboard to a wide open Kisby coming in as third man. As Kisvy's now going to look to get it past 2. He does. Sanso's on his left. Sanso's going to put this one onto an empty net, but no, that one's just going to go off the crossbar, and that is going to keep the Chimeras alive as there's only 1:30 left in this game number 2.
It's a must-make goal from Sanzo. We had Kisvy beating out pretty much 2.5 defenders. The third defender pre-jumping the shot from, or the touch from Sanzo. And when that something like that happens, and your member of your team is able to just create so much presence on the field, as Kisvy, a great pass once again. This time, it's gonna be put away by Kisvy gets the pass, Zimity gets the goal.
Yeah, and that's a great pass there by Kisby, getting up high, making them come to him, and he just beats a diving Gilly with not a lot of boost, drops it right on Zim's head, and they're pretty much walking away with this game number 2 as 1:06 left on the clock. Sanzo looking to make it 4-0. He gets the reset, does not make contact with the follow through, but Kisvy is back racing this one down as he's now going to beat 2 defenders. Zim's there, has to beat Vitri, and he can't, as 50 seconds remaining here as this one goes on again. Blaze just the offensive onslaughter here in game 2.
They really have not missed a beat. They are out shooting the Chimeras 12-1. Chimeras only able to get 1 shot on target, and that one was saved away by Sanzo. And with the inability to really create any defense, we're really looking forward to Dissa to create that space. He's kind of that very mechanical solo player, and he's been able to really keep the Blaze members at bay. But we've seen the Chimeras just a little bit being outpaced. The Blaze members really just kind of outpacing the speed of play, the mechanics. They seem to just be individually a lot better, and so the Chimeras either have to just switch up the game plan and play that very much team-oriented pass style, or they're going to be in trouble because Blaze, in a one-on-one individually, they seem to be outperforming the Chimeras.
100% outperforming it. Like you said, the biggest category there is just the shot category alone. 12 shots to 1 shot, and yes, that 1 shot that Gilly got was a pretty good shot. It was a pretty good save made by Sanzo, but like you need way more than that. Unfortunately, if you're the Chimeras, I don't even know what you have to do in this game number 3 to even give yourself life, to even have a chance to come back. Your playoff hopes are pretty much on the line here, knowing that Lightspeed won today. So if you're Chimeras, you got to try something different, and you got to try it now, and you just got to stick to it. You got to try to find one thing that can work for you, and maybe it's going to be kickoffs, as Dissa comes out here 2 seconds into this game, and he's going to put it away with a beautiful 50 there by Gilly off the kickoff.
See Kisby trying to lose it back right to Zimity, and Gilly just able to counter that one, read the kickoff from Blaze. And Dissa gonna hard cheat, which is something we haven't really seen from them. Is gonna be able to pick that ball up in the midfield and put in a free net. And early leads for Chimeras is all fine and dandy, but if they aren't able to withstand the Blaze onslaught or create any offensive pressure on their own, they're still gonna be in trouble. As Dissa having to keep possession in the corner, but Beatree, not a great touch in the midfield. It's gonna go to Sanzo. Sanzo putting it off target. Kisvy getting a dunk on one. It's going to drop into the midfield. He's looking for a bump as well. Zimity gets a pop. Also looking for a bump on Gilly. Sanzo already pre-jumped. Leaves the ball for Kisvy. Gilly having to take this one up, but Dissa going to pinch it away. And Blaze going to just retain possession. Even though Gilly had full boost. Zimity looking for a double tap. Dissa 0 boost. He just has to jump and hope and pray that Zimity doesn't hit this on target, but Zimity gonna get a little free double tap there, and he's not gonna miss that one.
No, he's not. Dissa try to get back in net, thinking that Zimity was gonna get his first touch on target, and he sends it high, and it kind of waterfalls down, and he's there to just read that one. But yeah, Blaze again, onslaught here. They unfortunately let up that opening kickoff goal, but obviously they're looking really good sense as a shot comes up on B3, and again, their shots are just off the mark, and they really need to start finding them and putting them on target if they really want to have a chance to come back in this one.
Yeah, and stuff there coming out by Dissa, and Chimera's showing signs of life as they have been able to beat Blaze to the ball multiple times in a row, force them onto the back foot, and their speedy playstyle hasn't really worked out too well as the Chimeras out shooting 4-1, which we have not seen at all this series. The Chimeras already reaching their shot total from game 1 and surpassing their shot total from game 2. And it's a little bit of a different Chimeras. Dissa has really shown out and played super aggressive, and Gilly gonna get an open net there as Dissa, once again, a great cut, making Sanzo awkward, not able to get that read, and Gilly gonna pick up that ball in the midfield with just a free net. Zimini not fully back yet. And Chimeras, this is the biggest lead we have and the most dominant they look. They've been able to outspeed Blaze to the ball, but will it last, Speed?
I don't know if it'll last, but they're looking pretty good right now. Dissa, 100% goal participation. They kind of have Blaze on the back foot. Blaze needs to not panic, though, because there is still plenty of time left in this game. We've seen them score early and often and with ease throughout this series, so they just need to get back to trusting in what they can do and not trying to do too much, even though they're down by 2 goals.
It's a shot coming out by Sanzo. That one's going to be off target. Zimity going to be there for the follow-up, though. And luckily for Sanzo, Zimity was there, because that would have been disastrous if Sanzo was not able to get that one on target.
And again, great play, team play from the Blaze. And that's what I'm loving so much about this Blaze team is, yes, they all individually have the skill to just solo, but what they're doing is they're using their skill to beat 1 or 2 and then making the next defender miss and just allowing their next teammate up to score these easy goals. And it's beautiful. I love the solo plays, but I love the team plays even more.
I mean, a great save coming out by Kisby as he was able to read that shot coming out from Gilly. It looks like it's going to be awkward on the back wall once again. Gilly, a great touch into the midfield. Going to get a beat on 1. Trying to get a demo, does so, but Zimity going to pick this ball up in the midfield. Looking for a pass to Kisby. Kisby looking for a double tap. Doesn't have the boost to follow that one up. And Gilly, a great read, keeping that away from Sanzo. But Sanzo trying to get a pass in the midfield. Not going to get the second touch. And Zimity was there waiting for the pass. Sanzo just not able to get that one. But Zimity already cutting, getting more pressure on the ball. And Kisby, once again, another great cut, able to get a good pre-flip air dribble. 50 against his own post coming out, and Sanzo gonna steal that one. Maybe it was in, but a crazy solo play coming out from Kisby.
Yeah, Kisby doing a little bit of everything there, as that ball looks like it was coming out with the potential to be saved as well. So you can't blame Sanzo there for going in and making sure that one gets put away. But, you know, they battled back. Sanzo looking to take the lead. No, he cannot get the bike to fade. Zim unable to sneak that one in as a counterattack from Dissa, but that one's going to be out of his reach. He's going to try to put this one middle, but that one's going to be sent away by Kisby. Kisby's going to send this one downfield. Sanzo up, but is going to get beat out by Gilly. Dissa gets another touch. He's looking for one more. Gets the reset. What's he going to do with it? He just elects to take it below him and then go over Kisby. And this is the solo menace that Dissa can be. And oh my God, Ventus.
Dissa, you're gross. That's all I can say about that. I mean, a great flip reset, getting the fake, going for the musty, a great shot on net, completely catching all of the Blaze members off guard, and Dissa, I mean, I'm stunned for words. There's such an amazing play coming out, and a much-needed one to give the Chimeras signs of life once again, as Dissa has been the bread and butter, that high-ceiling player showing what he can really do, and he's showing out with a hat trick and 600 points already. He has really stepped up in this much needed game, but is it going to be enough? Blaze on the offense once again. Zimity gonna get a stuff on Beatree as that last man back and tie up the scoring, and all was for naught. Even with that amazing goal from Dissa, it's already clawed back by Blaze.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see another amazing solo play coming out here from Dissa. I think if we're gonna want to see this Chimeras team, because they've had great opportunities, they've had the lead a few times in this series. I mean, in this game, but they just keep letting this Blaze roster climb their way back in with these 50 goals, slow goals. They're just getting outbodied, and you know, Dissa has to put masterpiece in to just be able to try to score for them. So as we head into the final minute here, Ventus, Kisby gets this one middle, But no, that one's going to be sent away by Dissa, and Sanzo is not able to keep that one in play for the Blaze roster here.
We have a tie game with just under 40 seconds remaining. Sanzo gonna clear this one off. Not gonna be able to follow his touch up, but is gonna get a bump on Dissa. Maybe the more important play there. Sanzo trying to look for a redirect, gonna be saved away by Beatree. A double commit coming out. Zimity trying to get a pass mid, is 50 with Beatree as well to get a clear. And this ball gonna go back into the Blaze half. Kisby gonna pick this one up, looking for a musty of his own. Not gonna be as powerful as Disses was, but this ball's gonna pass out into the midfield. Zimity looking for a fake, also wants to go for a musty on its own. Sanzo leaving this ball in the midfield. Beatree gonna be first in that one. Kisby not really having a chance to shoot that. As it's gonna go back in the midfield. Sanzo gonna get a cut, pick this ball up. 0 seconds remaining. Beatree electing to put this one down, and we are going to overtime here. I very back and forth. Blaze once again showing their offense, but Chimera's holding on. Gilly getting it, try to touch mid, but Zimity gonna get a bump on that attacker on the back wall and Dissa and get a clear. Kizzy gonna 50 this one, but Dissa's already up for this ball, looking for a shot on net. It's not gonna be on. Sanzo getting the read off the backboard, able to clear this one away, able to get a beat on 2, looking for a beat on 3, but Gilly gonna clear it away as well. Kizzy looking for a reset, gets a beat on Beatree, but Dissa gonna pick it up in the midfield. Not a great touch coming out from Zimity. He's gonna have to clear this ball away, but Gilly, a little too overzealous, pushes up a little bit, allowing Zimity to keep that pressure and take it all the way into the Chimera's half. Kizzy looking for a shot, goes for the flip reset, not gonna do so. Sanzo getting a fake on 2, a triple commit coming out now from Chimera's. Gilly, 0 boost, just having to clear this one away. Sanzo gonna just pick up the free ball on the sidewall, but Dissa coming, pre-jumping off the ceiling, not allowing any space for Blaze. A double commit comes out. Dissa just has to put this one on target, and Dissa gonna find the back of the net to win in overtime, an absolute stunner.
And that's just really unfortunate there for the Blaze roster. They really wanted that goal there on the offensive pressure they had for the last 30 seconds of that overtime. However, it ended up biting them there as they double commit, and there's just a man downfield able to get that redirect on target and, you know, force a game 4 here. Chimera's obviously on the back of Dissa, 893 points, 4 goals, 1 assist, doing it all, 100% goal participation for them. But what also really helped them there was Beatree stepping it up on the back line, picking up 6 saves, the double savior medal there coming out from Beatree, and it has now given them life and still keeping their playoff or their play-in hopes alive, hoping to grind out a game 4 and force a game 5.
Yeah, I mean, if Dissa keeps playing the way he just showed us in game 3, keeping Blaze from completing the sweep, I mean, the sky's the limit for the Chimeras. They're able to go toe to toe with the Blaze roster, who I think is one of the best in the rival league, even though the record is 9-7. The trade and the roster is newer. They are pretty much 6-1, I believe, with this iteration. Well, not specifically this iteration, but once the trade of Sanzo and Kisby happened, they are 6-1. And I mean, they are showing out why, but Chimera's able to steal a game off of Blaze and look to get something going with Beatree. Getting a beat on 1. It's going to go to the back wall. He's looking for a bump on Sanzo, but Sanzo going to dodge that one. Zimity picking the ball up in the midfield, getting the double tap, looking for another one, but not able to get that one as Dissa able to put it around him. Not a great touch coming out from Kisby. Allows Beatree to just get a long booming clear. Sanzo gets a beat on Dissa, but Beatree able to be there for a shot. It's going to be saved away. Zimity getting this one on the back wall. It's going to be 50 onto the back line once again. Kisby having to elect for another 50. This ball going to leak out into the midfield, but Beatree electing to play a little safe. Sanzo throws away that possession, but he gets a pass anyways. Dissa trying to clear that one, but Kisby already there. Finally, Gilly able to get it clear. Sanzo able to keep pressure as it looks like Zimity gonna clear this one. Back to Kisby. Back to Sanzo. Sanzo off the backboard for Zimity. Zimity off the backboard for Sanzo. Sanzo trying to get a shot on, but maybe a little bit one too many passes, not allowing them to actually get a shot on target. But once again, we see Blaze bringing that pressure out. They're out shooting Chimeras 4-1. And this seems, even though Chimeras have held on with some great defense, it seems very reminiscent of the first 2 games.
Really does, but Dissa sends this one back into his offense, and Zam doesn't get the greatest touch, but that one's gonna go down to Sanzo, and now Sanzo trying to beat Beatree here on the sidewall. He puts this one on. Zim's there. No, that one's going to go just wide. I think Zim might have thought that was on. He could have pre-flipped into that touch, but he elects to let it go as he thinks that one's going to go in, I think. And here we are. Blaze and Chimera's game number 4 still at 0-0 as we're approaching that halfway point here, Ventus.
Sidewall attempt coming out from Dissa. Chimeras have really impressed me with how well they've been able to hold on, especially cleaning up their defense a lot, not allowing Blaze to get any multiple length of pressure. But it looks like a shot going to be coming out, saved away by Kisby. Gilly looking for a little bit of a touch around Sanzo, but not going to be able to do so. Sanzo going to air dribble this one out. A 50 coming out by Zimity allows a shot from Kisby, not going to be saved though, as Beatree going to have to make another save. Zimity looking for a shot. It's kind of an open net as Gilly wasn't back yet, and Zimity going to find the back of the net, post in to give Blaze the lead.
Yeah, and this is what we expect right there. Zim, no boost, but he's able to just get up to that ball and beat Gilly there, who had a little bit of boost, but he had to come off of that sidewall and gonna give them the lead. And now Blaze just has to hold on to this lead, and they're going to secure themselves this series and really put themselves in a better spot and secure them, hopefully a playoff position, as they currently holding in one, but they're in that cluster of a bunch of teams tied at that 9-7 mark here. So, you know, this is also a huge win for them, and they really need to fight through this one and hold on.
Yeah. With the way they've been playing, they cannot afford to allow Chimeras to take the series off of them. A good flick, but an even better save coming up by Beatree. Beatree, once again, with an amazing save. Dissa getting this one, clearing this one out. Gets a fake on Zimity, but Zimity's still going to get a touch. Gilly trying to get a touch, not going to be able to do so. Leaves it for Beatree. Because we looking for a shot. Dissa with 0 boost. This one going to find the back of the net. No members of the Chimeras had any boost there, and Blaze going to capitalize.
Yeah, and I think that one right there, I know it's only 2 goals, but the way that they have had this game going, I think this one might be heading in the favor of Blaze. There's still plenty of time left, but we're just seeing Blaze, you know, they're going with the solo plays, and they're just beating the whole Chimeras roster left and right. They're managing their boost better. They are just overall better positioning as a double tap attempt comes out from Dissa. He doesn't quite read it, and this one's going to be sent away by Kisby. He has plenty of boost to get around the ball, and that is going to be the 3rd goal here for Blaze, and I think that one right there is the dagger.
Crazy things happen in Forbidden Temple. A good catch there coming out by Kisby. An overcommit coming out from Chimeras. And it's very understandable in their position. They need to go all out. They need to start closing that gap. With only a minute left, they were down 2 goals. So they still had to score. It looks like Beatree trying to get a shot. Does find one. And this is still a 2-goal game now with 1 minute remaining. However, Blaze looked very solid. And it's going to be very difficult for the Chimeras to make or mount a comeback. Crazy things do happen in Forbidden Temple. I say this time and time again whenever I cast in game 4s or series that go to a game 4. Anything can happen. Zimity trying to get a clear out. Sanzo looking for a shot as well. Beatree gonna save that one away. Beatree with 5 saves now. Dissa clearing this one, but it's gonna go right to Sanzo. Beatree having to try to make another save. It's not on target. Gilly gonna clear this one. Sanzo back into the corner though. Pops it in the midfield, looking for a bump. Beatree with another save, his 2nd savior medal, holding the Chimeras in it. But once again, we face a bunch of Blaze pressure. Gilly popping this one onto the sidewall, gonna get a 2nd touch. Leaving this one now for Beatree. Beatree putting a shot on net. Sanzo gonna have to save that one. Gilly putting that one off the backboard. Dissa shoots, but it's gonna be saved away by Zimity. No follow-up's gonna be coming from Beatree as he's electing to play a little safe. And with 10 seconds remaining, 2-goal lead. Dissa putting this one onto the backboard. Trying to get a shot on target. Zimity putting this one just above the crossbar. It's going to go Gilly. Not going to be able to keep that pressure as Kisby's going to clear that one away. And that is the dagger. Blaze take it in game number 4. A dominant showing by Blaze for the most part. Dissa, a crazy pop-off game for the Chimeras, keeping them in it. And, I mean, overall, just a great series.
Yeah, and you know, after the first 2 games, Chimera's really shown a lot of life. We see here that Beatree stepping up huge. We saw him have a double savior medal here in game 4. He had a double savior medal there in game 3, which they ended up winning. We didn't quite see the pop off potential that Dissa had, but he can't be doing that every time. He needs some help on the offensive end. And I think this, Chimera's team, if they can find a way to get a little more offensive pressure, their defense is there. Yes, they look sloppy at times, but then they really stepped it up. If they can consistently get that defensive pressure, they can find a little more offensive firepower to go with Dissa. They can have a great team. However, they just got to find a way now to get into the playoffs. They're hoping for a light speed loss next week. I'm in on Wednesday. They're hoping for a win on Wednesday, and they can find themselves back into the position of securing that last play-in spot. They just got to figure it out, and you got one match to do it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chimeras are missing Covey. Who would know what the Chimeras would look like differently there, replacing Gilly for Covey. Gilly seemingly a little bit underwhelming as a whole. He wasn't necessarily really dominant on defense or dominant on offense. He was kind of trying to be that midfield presence that didn't really work out too well for the Chimeras. And unfortunately, that might cost them a potential postseason and the final playing spot. But unfortunately, that is the last match that we have tonight. We are going to be back on Wednesday. A great series all around. We're going to have some crazy final game of the regular season, securing different play-in playoff spots. It's going to be very crazy. Speed, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, the only thing I want to add is I just want to thank the Nemesis premium subscribers. We got Flame, Wiggle, Cortera, Fenner, Neon, Street Soul, Critter, myself, Speed, Jax, iParker, and Rare.
Yeah, so big thanks to all of the Nemesis premium subscribers. I mean, the help goes a long way supporting the the stream, the prize pool, and everything we do behind the scenes. So it is very much appreciated. But with that, we are going to call it a night there. Some great games. I'm super excited to see which games are going to be on stream Wednesday. There are going to be some crazy seeding and playoff implications. You guys are not going to want to miss it. But until next time, we will see you later.
Big bass. Big bass.